Wow. What an interesting topic today, huh? Looks like we're back in business. This is what we're talking about today. Will peace finally be possible? Turkish Cypriot leader to tell the UN we want a solution. How interesting is that? Interesting topic. This has been in the news today. The Turkish Cypriot leader Erdogan would like to tell the UN that they are ready for a solution. They want a solution. And it looks like they're ready to negotiate. Who knows? Maybe they will bring an offer to the table that the Greek Cypriots can't refuse. And by the way, I know that some people might get offended. Oh, hello, BJFCM23. Interesting name. You got to tell me what that means. BJFCM23. That's an interesting one. A lot of people might not like the fact that the Turkish Cypriots have got a Turkish Cypriot flag. But guess what? If we do get a BBF, a bizonal, bicommunal federation, the Turkish Cypriots will be entitled under a constituent state to have their own flag. So I think the sooner we accept their flag as a constituent flag, which by the way they are entitled to have under a bizonal federation, the sooner we accept that, the sooner we can move forward, I think, personally, and stop worrying too much about it. And again, flags are flags, but I don't think we need to have a serious conversation about, trying to remove it, trying to take someone's identity. So I have no issue with that personally. I know a lot of people might have some issue with it, but me, no. And by the way, we do need to thank Alex because he's convinced me to come back on. Alex Hutch, if you're out there listening, I know you're coming soon. You have convinced me to get back into this. This is helpful. It is reaching some people. Hi, Andreas. Hi, everyone who's coming in. Yes, Alex Hutch, that's correct. Alex Hutch, he's right. It does, even if this reaches 1 or 2 or 3 people, I'm happy. At least we're making a difference. At least we're allowing Greeks and Turkish Cypriots to have a safe conversation, to talk about Cyprus. It's a space that Greeks and Turks can get together. We're learning from each other. We're understanding each other. And you know what? Maybe we've helped a handful of people to see through all of the, I'm not going to call it brainwashing, because at the end of the day, we've all got our own stories. We've all got our own issues. But at least to see some truth from another side that we've never seen before. Jalla. Who's Jalla? Oh, is that the Antigone? Okay, the Antigone thing. Yes, I know. She's in Eurovision. That is correct. I have no clue when Eurovision is, but I have heard that she's representing us. So that's interesting. Hopefully she'll win it. Hopefully she'll win it, and hopefully she's representing both Greeks and Turkish Cypriots, I guess. I don't know her personally, but I've definitely met her I've seen her a couple of times in Cyprus, in Limassol. Hopefully she succeeds. Hopefully she wins. Puts us back on the map and people start talking about us again. I can't read your name, but what is your background? I am Greek Cypriot. Well, my family is Greek Cypriot, but I'm born in the UK and raised in the UK. How about your background? What is your background? Oh, thanks, Jan. Yes, as I was saying earlier, Alex convinced me to do this, come back in. He's absolutely right, 100%. Let's talk. Let's get a debate going. Let the live go out to a few people. Thank you for joining. Whoever's here, give us some likes so we can get this out to as many people as possible. And let's see if, as usual, we can get a nice little debate going. I am born, raised in Israel. Okay, interesting. Cyprus migration. Are you there?
Yes. You can hear me.
I can hear you now. Did you see the news?
Yes. So
yeah.
the United Nations representative or some guy went to Turkey.
Okay.
And Turkey said that we are not going to agree on Grants Montana mutual agreement statements, and we are going to start again talks on our terms. So it's all going back to zero.
What's their terms?
Way
Do we know what their terms are?
the terms are what Erhurman is asking,
Which
like
is
that strict timeline, federation with equal representation of presidency and stuff.
Isn't that a bizono by
Basically, they
BBF? They want a BBF.
Yes, a BBF, but the proportions are way off. The 18% is asking for 50% of power, which that is
so where do we
off.
settle? Where do we settle then? We won 18. Okay, we won 20. They won 50. Let's meet at 45. Would you be happy with 49? Would you be happy with 49, 51?
No, it's ridiculous.
49, 51. We're still majority.
Where do you live now, Sophocles? Where do you live?
I'm between Cyprus and England at the moment.
Okay.
But at the moment, I'm in England. Right now, I'm in England.
Okay. In England, what's the biggest minority in England?
The biggest minority?
Pakistanis, Indians. Who are they?
If you put the Pakistanis and the Indians into one group, yeah, they're the biggest. Yeah.
I'll say, it may be Asians.
Let's call them Asians, we call them.
Yeah.
So the minorities rule double what their population.
Well, we had an Asian prime minister migration. We had an Asian prime minister a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he was born to parents who were both British citizens, and he was born in the UK.
No, he was born to two foreign parents, two foreign doctors, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, I remember him.
Yeah.
He was crazy rich, right? They were.
Yeah, he married a billionaire family from India. He married into a billionaire family. Yes, he was basically a billionaire. Yeah.
Yes, but he wasn't elected there because of his culture, of his race. So basically, we are asking for a racist solution because it's going to be based on race, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. And
what if it was based on location rather than race? What if it was based on someone living on the north, constituent state? Let's call it the TRNC for argument purposes, yeah? The constituent state on the north has their own flag, which is the one you see. It's called a TRNC as a constituent state. And maybe it's a half Greek, half Turk who's living there on the north and wants to be a president. What is the
you see, Sophocles, in the south. In the south, we have recognized the 150,000 Turkish Cypriots, but in the north, there is zero Greek Cypriots. So that's an issue. We are inclusive of Turkish Cypriots in the south, but in the north,
I know a lot of families migration who are half Greek and half Turkish. Would we want them to be running for president?
No problem, right? But what I'm saying is that I believe that the BBF, on the basis that Turkey is asking, is like we are not going to accept it, and it will rather go on like this for many years to come, unless they become logical and.
See, I don't know where Turkey is involved, because Erdogan is saying that he will speak to the Gutierrez in UN to speak about a solution. I don't think Turkey is involved in that. He's talking about the Turkish Cypriots. Now, what Turkey said is one thing. What Greece says is another thing. What the UK says is fine, but it's between the north and the south, no?
Not quite, to be honest. Turkey is, as I said, they don't accept what's been agreed, mutual agreements on Grants Montana.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Is that okay? Given the current changes that we've seen, like the military escalation, wasn't it expected that the politics would have to change to match the military situation? Because you got militarization on both sides, right? And like, what, you expect it to stay the same? Like the Crans Montana deal stays on the table, and at the same time both sides are arming themselves to the back teeth. It don't make sense, doesn't it? So we should have expected this political mirroring of the military scenario, no? Or are we being naive?
What is this something different? Is this Turkey saying that they want to increase military? Is that what you guys are saying now?
I'm saying that the Turkish military escalation is to match the other side, right? So when they done that deal with Greece and
but these
Israel,
are temporary. These are temporary measures, right? This is not a long-term solution.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
There is a fundamental difference.
No way. Look who's back, everyone.
In the south, we are following the international law and the laws of Europe.
Yeah, but we know who makes the international law, innit? It's like Western hegemony.
Yes.
You're talking about your lot, basically. Yeah, Europeans.
By the way, I want to make
Europeans,
a small.
So
I want to make a small note.
Go on.
This girl Pasha, she came up on the Stinian live like
Pasha?
5 seconds ago. 5 minutes ago.
Who's Pasha?
She was.
Do you know Pasha?
Using false word and the live got banned. Like it was 5 minutes ago. So be careful who you bring up. Because
I don't know Pasha. I don't think I've ever spoken to Pasha, but okay, I'll be careful.
She's commenting. She's in the comments, so she will try and come up. Be careful because I want to protect your life.
Okay, all right.
She's a bit hostile. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, other than that, Caucasian. What do you believe is a fair, like in a BBF, like rotating presidency of equal?
No. Look. Whatever people I've got no dog in the race, innit? Like whatever people decide, like however they want to live, that's their decision, innit? But I'm talking about is like, let's be realistic, innit? Like when we're speaking, let's speak, innit? Like you're saying, for example, oh, they want a racial divide. But what is democracy if it's not a racial divide? Democracy is where the majority rule over the minority, and the majority will do everything to protect their power. So when we look at, for example, in the time of slavery in America, it was a Democrat Party that was pushing the politics in them times. So democracy is intrinsically a racist policy. Like for you to say, but they want to divide it on racial terms. No, what you're asking for is racial dominance over minorities. That's what democracy is. Let's be honest.
But I get your point, but as Sophocles said, like the ex-prime minister of UK, he was of Indian descent. So my counter argument is that
but he wasn't. No, Cyprus migration. Listen. What you said was correct. Listen. I'm going to agree with you that the leader of England, it happened to be an Indian. He wasn't representative of the Indian community. Yeah, he wasn't representing no minorities. He was a millionaire, trillionaire, married to another millionaire, trillionaire, who managed to get himself into power because of his links, right? Nothing to do with his community. His community didn't put him in power. His community didn't vote for him. Like no one.
He wasn't voted. He wasn't voted in. He was voted in by his party.
I know. But like what I'm saying, he didn't have the backing of the people, right?
No, not the public.
Right.
No.
So him being Indian had nothing to do with him being a leader.
You know what I believe sincerely? If in the next presidential election, a Turkish Cypriot like Akinci or someone who we respect as Greek Cypriots put his name down as in the presidential elections, I believe he will go very, very well. Maybe he might get elected because now we're having a very big change into the elections game with all the new guys coming in with new parties. So in my opinion, Fidias, also some other guys who are coming into with new fresh ideas of changing and becoming a bit more fair as a country. What I'm trying to say is that I believe with this big change that is happening in Cyprus politically, maybe if a Turkish Cypriot comes to put his presidential candidacy, he might get elected. So I believe that minorities have the chance to get elected in an equal
proportional migration. That's called proportional representation. When you're represented politically based on the proportion of the population that you represent.
Let's put a scenario for migration. Let's say, what's his name? The guy you said, the Turkish Cypriot?
Mustafa Akinci was like the latest, most liked.
No, there's a new guy you said you liked. The new guy you said, I forgot his name. He's currently in politics.
No, it's a couple. Even Odysseas or Fidias, they are coming in.
No, the Turkish one. There's one that everyone talks about on the Turkish Cypriot side. He's a politician, right? I forgot his name.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Do you know Caucasian?
No.
There's a guy everyone keeps talking about at the moment. It's Turkish Cypriot.
Yeah.
You mentioned him. You mentioned him earlier.
Who mentioned him?
Migration.
Had the migration run through the list of people? Had it?
Also, Niazi Gilzigurek was elected in our parliament and also in European
Oscar
Parliament. He was a Turkish Cypriot.
That's the one. If migration, Oscar Rahan ran for president, yeah, and he wins. You okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Under a BBF, under a fair.
Oscar Rahan, he's more polarized than I am. If you listen to Oscar Rahan he's a Turkish Cypriot. He's even more polarized than I am. He's all for a fair solution. Everyone has equal voting rights.
So you could live with that.
No racial discrimination.
He's
no
president for
dividing
5 years. Migration. We're happy with that.
100%. 100%.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
I agree with you. I 100% agree.
This is good news. Then we're seeing some positive developments here. People are saying there's hope still. I like it.
Of course, there's hope, man. There is hope. Look, we do want a solution. We both want a solution. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You see.
I don't think we're looking at it right.
Oh, hello, mate. How you doing? Can you introduce yourself? Because I don't think we've spoken before.
We haven't.
What's your name? Where do you come from?
My name is Mehorai, and I'm Israeli. I think you're not looking at it right. Cyprus right now is in the forefront of the war against the Ottoman Empire. And you are looking at it like a civil thing inside Cyprus, but they are going to eat you alive.
How do you know?
It's look what happened in Syria, look what's happening around Turkey.
Isn't Syria a war between Israel and Turkey?
There is a proxy war. Yes.
Yeah, but that's between Israel and Turkey, no?
Yes.
It's not between Cyprus.
But there is a war between Cyprus and Turkey also. Turkey wants to expand, and Western cultured people should stop it. Because we don't want to live under this kind of rule.
And you say you live in Cyprus?
I live in Israel.
Ah, okay. Have you been to Cyprus?
I think we are two different fronts of the same war, in a sense.
Have you been to Cyprus before?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, go on migration. You had a question. Sorry.
I was going to say that the thing in Cyprus the latest years is a hybrid war, especially after 2015 with all the migrants. Because if you're having too many Pakistanis, too many Muslims like Syrians who are affiliated with Turkey as asylum seekers or protective immigrants, which is for me it's a BS, then you're having like the enemy's soldiers.
Yes, Ali.
The enemy soldiers.
Assalamu alaikum, bro. How you doing, man?
No, mate, I'll bring you in a minute. Let's just let my Cyprus finish.
So yeah, I just wanted to greet my Muslim brother.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, not in the middle of a conversation, though, bro. Let
migration.
Let's have a bit of etiquette in it. Let's have a bit of etiquette.
So the last 10 years, we are having a hybrid war from Turkey with the illegal migrants that they are pushing inside Cyprus with the hundreds of thousands. So we are like deporting with the thousands to catch up and save the country. So this is a reality in Cyprus now. It's like a hybrid war.
That's an external issue. So I was talking to the Israeli guy. I forgot his name. Sorry. I wanted to tell him that it's not only about Turkey. It is about Turkish Cypriots. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Does anyone remember his name? I don't remember your name, mate.
It's about Turkish Cypriots, but all the people, including the Greek Cypriot and the Turkish Cypriots, are pawns in this big game.
Okay, I can agree with that. Yeah.
The lives of the people that are inside this conflict aren't nice, but you should look at it in the big perspective, and don't be naive and think you can negotiate with this entity that is called Turkey. I need to go by.
Shut up, idiot.
Look. At least he's putting his cards on the table. He's showing us that if Greeks and Israelis get together, this is what we can expect, right?
100%.
Let's welcome Perseus as well. I don't know if we've spoken before.
Yeah.
Perseus.
Hey guys, so name's Roberto. I'm actually a Cypriot as well. Just a quick point for again. I also can't remember the guy's name that was just in the chat. The Israeli guy.
Yahudi. Call him Yahudi.
No, I'm not gonna call him Yahudi. So the guy from Israel, and I'll tell you why.
From America.
Me?
You are from America. Yeah.
Kypreos με τη σούβλα στο χέρι. No, I'm fully Cypriot. It's just I feel like I have a good accent.
It's a proper American accent.
Like
yeah, go for it, mate.
Watching lots of movies.
Yeah, no,
I just man. Why are you attacking everyone that's not Cypriot enough for you, idiot? Shut up. You said what you had to say. You talk shit sitting there about migrations coming from Turkey. You talk the most shit. Absolute shit.
Let's get this live.
Let's carry on with Perseus. Perseus, you were saying guys, let's hear Perseus. Go on, mate. We haven't heard from you.
This is the Turkish civilized way of talking.
Civilized. I'm more civilized than you fucking pumpkin.
Go on, Perseus. Let's hear you, mate. Go
All right, let's try it
We're
again.
listening.
So 2 points. The first point is everyone is entitled to their own opinion, obviously, just like the guy from Israel was. I don't think there's anything wrong with mixing Cypriots with Israelis, Cypriots with Turks. Everyone is allowed their own opinion. That's the point that I wanted to get out of the way. The second point that I wanted to say is I do believe in a solution that benefits absolutely everyone. I think we should be, just like back in the day, reunited with our Turkish brothers. So my issue is never against Turkish people or Turkish Cypriot people, whatever you want to identify as. My issue definitely is, and I think there's some truth to it, with the way the Turkish government handles certain things. Now, whether you are pro-Turkish government or not, I also don't think the way our presidency or our government handles certain things is correct. But what I do think is that we need reform. We need a government that is willing to collaborate with the other side. It goes both ways. I think the Turkish side needs to be able to collaborate with us, and the Greek Cypriot side needs to also be willing to collaborate and put certain things down. The war happened. Things happened. I think the only way we can get past this is to get past it. If we start looking on, but I want to find a solution that only benefits the Greek Cypriots because this is what I think is right. And if the Turkish Cypriots say, yeah, but you guys slaughtered us back then, so now we want to have our solution, we're never going to get anywhere. It's going to be still a lot of hatred.
Perseus, brother, what you're saying in general terms, you're not saying anything different than what Cyprus migration says. The point is, like, let's go one step further. Are you prepared for 50-50 power sharing with the Turks? Or do you want what Cyprus migration wants, which is a more proportional representation?
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't hear Cyprus migration's hold argument. What I can tell you is I would genuinely not mind if there was a Turkish leader every 4 years and every 4 years a Cypriot leader.
Do you live in
He's speaking from a true Cypriot's perspective, and I already knew that from what he just said before you asked that question back to him, Caucasian. There's a difference between.
I wanted to hear him say it, innit?
Yeah, that's why I didn't interrupt, bro. I was going to interrupt and say.
I agree, but let's get one thing straight. It has to be fair and equal. Like on both ends, it has to be fair and equal.
And can I tell you something? We're not far off anyway. Listen, you're going to hear a lot of things on these lives from people like migration, and you're going to hear some negative stuff from Turkish Cypriot equally. But the fact is, and the reality is, we're not far off. Right?
But to be fair, like he said, he wants it to be fair and equal. But by definition, to some Greek Cypriots, if it's equal, then it's not fair. So how do you square that?
Guys,
dude, it's out.
You know why? You know why.
What I was gonna say is we're not far off.
Listen here, donkey boy. I wasn't talking to you. I'm asking Perseus.
Okay, guys, let's keep it respectful. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, okay? Whether we agree or disagree, I'm always open for discussion. Let's respect
the thing is, if you think he's getting a lot of hate, bro, it's because we've been on these lives for around 2 years, and we've had to put up with this guy for 2 years. If you come on this live regularly, you're not going to be saying what you're saying, trust me. This guy is just literally sits in the toilet. He's literally currently sitting in the toilet, and that's not even a lie, and he just spouts a load of absolute crap. That's all he ever does.
Okay.
He's a Turkey.
Wow, guys. So
that's all he ever does. And the funny thing is,
you tell me
he questions all Greek Cypriots.
how many
questions all
countries have
Greek
this kind of
Cypriots,
equality?
and
How
he
many
tells
countries
every
use
Greek
this
Cypriot they're not
mindset?
Cypriot
Yeah, he
We
because
dodged
have
they
that
in
haven't
alley.
done
countries who
national
have the
service.
He dodged that.
minority
He said the first thing
sharing
he said
the
to this geezer, he goes to him, "Are
presidency
you
every
American?
like
Are you in
4 years.
America?"
It doesn't
I
make
know, that's my point.
it doesn't make much sense. Yeah, because you're in Britain, you're a British guy.
Well,
You're not
let's find out.
Cypriots.
Perseus, are you in Cyprus?
Caucasian, Alex, Sashini
So
is British guys. You're not Cypriots.
Yeah,
The
you've got a British fucking
Perseus,
passport, man.
so
Shut up.
Re,
so
Perseus, are you in Cyprus
brown,
or
your
are you
brown
well,
living in
smelly
America?
I'll
thing,
answer, but hold on a
your
minute because
brown
there's way too
smelly
many people
thing
talking.
is in Britain. Your poo
Yeah,
poo is in
yeah.
Britain, not in
And you was
Cyprus.
in
Let's
Britain
move
as
it. Let's
well.
move it
Count
on.
them.
Let's move it on. Let's
Okay,
move it on. Go on, Perseus. Tell
I'm
us.
gonna give my 2 cents. I lived in Cyprus up until I was 23, and then I've been living in Switzerland for about 4 years now. So yeah, I grew up
You
in
Yeah,
see,
Switzerland.
4 years.
he ran away from Cyprus
Re,
migration.
you did your
Guys,
military service.
yes,
The Persian, you.
I also did my military service. That I'll
Bravo,
explain to you,
bravo.
but I'll explain to you
Oh,
why I see it
canım
the way I
hadiydi.
do.
Amına koydum.
Okay, I'll tell you the way I see it. The reason why I say that it has to be fair and square and that I would allow to see a whole 4 year thing back and forth is because then you can move forward. Is it the right thing, not the right thing, however people see it? I just want things to be, to find a solution. I want to be able to have my friends' grandparents be able to visit their old homes again. I want to be able to see Turkish Cypriots come on our side and have a feast with us. I want peace.
Helal
And in
olsun.
order to
Helal
The
maintain
olsun.
peace,
migration. Come
you
back in
need
10
to
minutes,
move
mate.
forward. That's what
We
it
need
is.
more Greeks
Because
like this. This is what we need. We need more Greeks like this guy.
the thing is,
Migration got restriction. Come back in 10.
I'm gonna make one
Why?
point.
Why the...
Everyone's gonna jump on a bandwagon on this, so I'm already prepping myself. For me, one of the reasons why the whole Israel and Palestine conflict keeps going on is because people are not willing to lay down their issues and put them aside and say, let's move forward together. That's it. I don't want to hear about Israel Palestine. That's just my 2 cents on the topic. And I'm afraid that it's the same point with Cyprus. If we don't lay down our differences and say, let's just move forward. You made mistakes, I made mistakes. It's
One
completely
is
clear.
one is the product of a political catastrophe, and the other one is a Canonianist project. You can't equivocate the two.
When you study
But I want to.
study the whole history, you can. But again, this is not
Perseus,
a.
can I just ask you, have you always felt like this, or has this been a new epiphany?
I'm gonna be honest with you. In the past, I was very pro Cyprus, one country Cypriots. But as time passes and as I grew older and studied and researched politics and also seen other situations in other countries and wars, you are never going to be able to find peace by trying to get your end of the bargain. It's not going to work. Somebody has to die because at the end, someone's going to die. And then the whole war is going to keep going. And then when somebody dies, say for example, Cypriots kill Turkish people, then Turkish people are going to come and kill us.
Language.
Oh, my apologies. Well, if people are gone from one side, then other people are going to be gone from the other side. And then this whole thing repeats itself 10,000 times.
Can we also bring user 6? You're on the panel there, mate. Yeah, of course you can ask something. Go for it, mate.
Well, can you guys hear me better this time?
Yeah, a bit louder.
All right. Well, I'm listening, and I'm quite pleased with the way the conversation is going. But I have a question on the matter of.
This is Dimitris, right?
Yes, this is Dimitris.
Okay, yeah.
All right. I have a question. Does everybody understand that since we all seeking resolution that's going to bring equality, as I see, equality requires certain prerequisites. For example, for me to understand that somebody has equal rights as me, I have to understand, first of all, that he has the same rights as me, right? Second of all, in order to accept this as a value, meaning equality, I have to, as a person, being able to understand how the law works and being able to respect law, including local law and international law as well. Am I making myself clear or?
You're going on a monologue, bro. Just come to the point. What's the point?
Can I just address one thing before you move on? Let me just address one thing.
The question is, how can you cooperate with somebody?
Can't hear you, mate. Can't hear you.
All right. How can you cooperate with somebody and talk about equality if the other person has no notion of international law?
Guys, let me answer this. Wait, I've got an answer. I've got an answer though.
No, so do I. Please, I beg you.
Go on then.
How do we have a partner for peace as Turkish Cypriots when our so-called partner for peace just completed a trilateral agreement with one country who is perpetrating a genocide in 4K, breaking every single international norm, right? And is under heavy sanctions by the UN, right? How many UN resolutions they're not respected, a single one, right? And you went and signed an agreement with this so-called country.
Yeah, but
and then
then
you're turning around. No, there is no yeah, but. Yeah, and then you're turning around and asking us to understand international law.
No, but the thing is, you're saying about a 4K genocide when I'm sorry, but there really is no proof that there's actually a genocide. You can argue with me as much as you want.
Hold on, one sec. And as Escape says, and on that bombshell, I'm out.
Anyway, can I just address the guy who spoke? Sofo, can I just address one point he made?
Go on, mate.
There's a difference between equality and equity. You have to understand this. Like the term that you're using, equality, you're basically saying it should be a democracy and everyone should have the same rights. But as a part of a majority population, you're basically asking everyone to take a minority position. So you're immediately putting them in a position of subservience where you're not really known for protecting small groups like that. So for them to put their lives in your hands again is a bit of a ask, don't you think?
The small groups that you're saying should be protected. Usually, when there is a member state of the European Union, they're protected by the European law.
Yeah, but that only came after, mate. That there was no Europe in '74 or in '60 or '63.
We're talking about a solution though that's going to take place now.
Yeah. So what's wrong with having it equal?
He's just got a different explanation of equal. We're saying is equal and what he's saying is equal is two different things. We're saying there should be two equal communities. He's saying no, every individual person should be equal under the same law. So he's asking
I never said that.
That's what you're asking for, bro.
No. How can you tell what I'm asking when I didn't say so?
Because that's the conclusion that you said. You said, how can we not recognize international law? International law is based on democracy, is it not?
Yes, of course. What is the problem with democracy then?
Because you would be enshrined in a position of authority over all the minorities in your island.
No, dude, you're taking it the wrong way. I never said that. So how the solution's going to come and who's going to be president for 4 years or another 4 years or this or that, that's not what I said. What I said is much simpler than what you're making it. The simplicity is very simple, dude. I mean, I can't make it any simpler than that. I'm saying that in order to accept, to understand equality, you have to understand law, first of all, because law dictates equality.
I don't even understand what you're saying, to be honest with you.
Go on, Alex. It's your turn.
All right, let me ask you. Let me make it simpler, more simple. Let's say, Alex, that me and you are equal, okay, which we are, okay. All of a sudden, I think that I am more equal than you. If you get my grip.
No, we don't.
Who's gonna dictate my rights against yours and your rights against me?
Yeah, that's not the issue, bro. That's gonna happen under a solution. We need to find a way to get to that point to be in the position that you're trying to explain. What you're trying to explain isn't going to get us to a solution because we've still got disagreements on how we reunite. But if we reunite, and what you're saying is true, yes, we would be equal. We would all have to adhere to international law. But we need to get to that point before we can get.
All right, but I think
before we can implement what you're saying. Does that make you with me?
I'm describing something that's going to happen after the unification.
Go on, you, mate.
I mean, you're describing something that's inevitable. Surely, whatever the solution would be, that's what we would expect as a minimum. No, what you just
yes,
said.
yes, absolutely.
So why not talk? So Demetrius, why not? Sorry, whoever that is. 1 second. Why don't you give us a way of finding a solution instead of explaining what it should be like after? That's what I want to hear from you. What would it take from each side? What, in your opinion, what would the TRNC or Erdogan or Turkey or Greece or Cyprus have to do to have a compromising solution that will please everybody? To get
the first thing in order, the first thing in order for this to happen, there should be no guarantee states, nor Greece or Turkey.
Okay.
All right, okay. Nor Great Britain, nobody, just the people of Cyprus.
And the EU law,
I'm sorry?
And the European law that you asked for earlier.
Well, inevitably, do the Greek Cypriots want to be a part of the European Union?
Well, they're part of it now.
No. The Turkish Cypriots. I'm sorry.
Yes. So under international law, yes. But I would just say one thing. I would agree to that. No guarantors, but with a sunset clause that the guarantors will remain for maybe 10 years, 15 years. And if nothing happens in that period of prosperity under a BBF, then yes, that sunset clause will lapse. So on a given date, it will be rescinded. It would not exist. If each side is committed to rebuilding and pushing forward with a BBF that everyone agrees with, I don't think that having such guarantee should be the pivotal thing that ends it. So, for example, in Crans-Montana, it failed because of the withdrawal of troops and guarantees. And it's very disappointing that it failed on those two, because from what the two negotiators explained in the interview that Fidias hosted on YouTube, they solved the settler issue, the property issue, and how the BBF was going to function under a BBF, and it basically failed on security. So I would then say to them, revise it and be like, yes, I know a lot of Greek Cypriots don't want Turkey as a guarantor because it opens the door to not really solving the problem, but it's got to be a good faith thing. Because you've got to see it from a Turkish...
And what I said
there
earlier,
isn't a problem.
Alex,
can I just finish this point?
Yeah, go ahead,
you've got to see it from a Turkish Cypriot perspective. That I get it. From a Greek Cypriot perspective, when you see military on the island, it's traumatizing. It's hard to see it. It's upsetting, especially for the older generation. But then equally from a Turkish Cypriot's perspective, that same older generation that lived through what happened, they've still got that trauma. And the young generation have only ever known the Turkish army there for their protection. So if there is a bit of compromise from the ROC side and the people of the ROC to see that and say, look, what is the harm? If we are going to sign this deal and go into this BBF and it's going to work, why should we let it fail based on one issue of the guarantees? Let's do a sunset period. We're all on our best behavior for 15 years. And I guarantee you that 15 years will come, or 10 years, and it'll be forgotten about. No one would even remember the day.
What's the problem?
Guys, I think I can also contribute on that if you allow me to speak up.
Yeah, John, speak, and then we'll let user Bly introduce himself because there's a new voice as well. Go on, John.
But I would like Demetrius to answer that as well, because I was having a conversation with him.
Well, it's going to be a reply on this, and then please, Demetrius, you can reply to if you allow me. Sure, it's the same. So I'm going to ask before introducing myself. I'm going to reply by saying to you that it's exactly the same question, and I think it's unfair for the Greek Cypriots also to see the Turkish army staying as a guarantor, only because they have suffered as much as you say that the Turkish Cypriots, and I fully understand and I appreciate it, that they have also suffered from the Greek side. So what I suggest, specifically on this point, what would your problem be if the guarantors would not be Greece and Turkey, and they are, for example, UK and the US?
Look,
What's your problem with that?
Personally, I can't speak from a full Turkish Cypriot perspective because I never lived.
That's your opinion, mate.
I never lived through it, so I don't have that trauma. But you have to respect that a lot of them have that trauma and fear, and rightly so. A lot of the Greek Cypriots do. But unfortunately, it wasn't the Turkish Cypriots were the aggressor that triggered 1974. What happened after 1974? I don't condone all of the revenge and all of that stuff.
I think this is the turning point where the conversation goes wrong for me.
Question. Let him answer you, brother.
It's called a compromise. If we're going to move forward as Cypriots, we all need to compromise, and that would have to be a compromise. So I know it's going to be uncomfortable for Greek Cypriots, and I know it's it's been over 50 years and we haven't found a solution. And slowly we are making progress.
Why do we need a solution? There is no problem.
Even though we've not found a solution, we have made progress to get towards a solution, and we've figured out what the core problems are for each community, right?
What's the problem?
So obviously, Crans-Montana failed because Anastasios wasn't happy with the whole arrangement of Turkish troops withdrawing from the island. But we've solved the reunification part of it. We just can't solve the security part of it. So if here's a
user blah, can I just say the problem is that we're divided, my friend.
So Haitians and Dominican Republicans.
So can I just finish this and then I'm going to just shut up for a second. So if we can compromise on that. So for example, if Christodoulis goes to Echoman and says, look, I've done a poll in the south. These are my two core problems that I've got to find a solution with you. Work with me as the leader of your community. Listen to what I'm telling you. We've done a poll, and the poll says that people are fearful of the Turkish army. They don't want them there. And I understand you're hesitant to have them being removed because you want them there as safety. So if I can kindly ask you to ask Turkey to withdraw a certain number of troops, I can then go back to my people and say, look, in 50 years, I've managed to secure this where troops are leaving the island. There's still going to be troops remaining there. That would go a long way. It would show that we're making progress. Instead of the Turks saying, no, we're not leaving, and instead of the Greek Cypriots saying, no, we're not going to make a deal unless there's no guarantees. If we compromise on the troop numbers initially, and then when there is a solution, they can have a sunset period for the withdrawal of the troops, gradual process over 5 years, and then obviously the guarantees can be withdrawn within 10 years. What's the harm? If no one has got no... And look, I agree with you.
Just for the sake.
As a Turkish Cypriot,
just for the sake of the conversation, my friend.
Can I just finish this
last
Yes,
I heard you.
As a Turkish Cypriot, I believe that there'll never ever be trouble on the island like before. I personally don't think the army is necessary. But
yes, true. I agree.
I'm not one of those people that live there, and I'm not one of that suffered through it. So I can't really speak for someone that has lived through it.
No, it's a matter of national security.
Because they might say the opposite to me. But personally, because the ROC is in Europe and times have changed, I can't see that. But then I don't see no harm in leaving the guarantees there. Because if each side haven't got no intentions of doing anything bad, then it will just lapse. That's all I wanted to say.
Let me give you a quick reply on this. First of all, I'm a guy who, let me introduce myself. I am John. I left Greece when I was 18. I spent 5.5 years in the UK.
I've met you before. I've met you before. You've been on the live before.
I've not met.
So to your point, directly to your point. Let me say something to you. I get your point about Crans-Montana, etc., etc. Let me tell you my opinion on this. Forget what happened in Crans-Montana. I'm just throwing on the table a new solution that for me would work 100%, and it would be fair 100%. On the basis that there would be one government, 50% by Turkish Cypriots, 50% by Greek Cypriots, one police, one court system, 50-50, on the basis of the EU law that Cyprus is under, and forget Crans-Montana, and on the basis that both armies will leave the island the next day of the agreement.
No way.
I heard you. I heard your concerns, but if they accepted
Why did Turkish troops have...
let me finish my question, and I'm done. Based on the condition that they will both leave, and they will both choose one different country of their choice as a guarantor to replace their army.
John, I'm going to interrupt
ridiculous.
you. John,
That's ridiculous.
I'm going to interrupt you, John. I get the sentiment. How you're speaking is how I used to speak 2 years ago. All I've ever wanted since I've been on these lives for 2 years is one state solution. I never wanted two states. I never wanted BBF. I was always I wanted us to reunite. But over
to be fair, that's the exact same with me.
It's never going to happen though. The reality on the ground is.
Sorry, Sab. Can I, guys? Sorry, just so we don't get any restrictions. How old are you, Sab? Sab, trading. How old are you?
I'm 35.
I can't verify your age, so you got to go. Sorry, mate. Yeah, go on, Alex. Sorry.
Look, I always wanted that. What you're saying, but you have to be a bit more realistic. And if anything I've learned in the last 2 years, that's unrealistic. The best solution we've got for the island is a BBF. How we get to a BBF and how a BBF is going to function, I don't know. They haven't released that. Even in Crans-Montana, they didn't explain how the police force was going to integrate military and all of that. They only said about properties and how the people that came over from Turkey was going to be, and other things. So that is still in the dark. I trust in the process.
Can I interject?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, so I don't know if you don't know Devlet Bahçeli. He's the leader of the MHP party in Turkey. And he's currently in a coalition with the AKP with Başkomutan Recep Tayyip Erdogan. As Devlet Bahçeli said, Northern Cyprus integrating into the Turkish Republic is a matter of national security at this point.
That's never going to happen. Turkish Cypriots,
why not?
Forget the Greek Cypriots. Turkish Cypriots will never ever allow the northern part of Cyprus to be annexed by Turkey.
They have no voice They have no voice. We sent our troops.
All right, mate.
Our
whatever.
men.
You're telling us Cypriots we have no voice.
No, look. We sent our troops, our men. We are all one people. They are also
listen, you're talking out your absolute arse. Deal with your own internal problems and don't worry about Cyprus. Turkey's there
that is
one
a part of
one.
That is our internal. That's our. That's our land.
Turkey isn't part of Northern Cyprus.
Integrating it is a matter of national security at this point.
No, it's not. Well, your national security. It's got nothing to do with Cyprus.
No, they are our people. We are all one people.
Explain why it's a matter of national security. Wait. I wanna find out. Let me ask him. What's the worst case scenario? Like, what's the big fear that Turkey needs to protect itself from? Tell us.
Yeah. So as we've seen the Greeks.
By the way, I'm Turkish Cypriot, and so is that guy that just asked you that question. Just so
it doesn't matter. As we could see,
it doesn't matter. No, two Turkish Cypriots telling you what you just said is
they've become
Cypriot as well, bro. But I'm fucking very old.
Yeah. So Alhamdulillah, we're all Muslim. We're not uniting with one group
Muslim,
of people.
Bro.
No. We as an identity, we are. You don't have to be. So as I could say, there's many things I could point out to be in a national security, but one of the most common and recent ones is the relationship you lot have been building with Israel, which, as we know, is a hostile government to Muslims, and you're placing weapons and they are buying up your land to basically build a new base for themselves there. As we could just see in regards to us exploring the ocean nearby, you've opposed, as Greece has made new threats of extending the Aegean Islands.
What's this got to do with Turkish Cypriots? I don't give a shit about your 12 nautical miles from the island to do with Turkey. I don't give a shit about Israel. And frankly, I'm grateful.
Right now.
So why did we have to send your?
I'm grateful for what Turkey did in '74 to a degree, and that's where the line stops, as far as I'm concerned.
Why do you decide where it stops after we gave up blood?
I don't think so.
Because just
what do you mean? What we never gave blood for?
What you want us to give our blood and our country to you for what you did?
That's not your
Is that what you're
country.
saying?
But you're going on that no Turkish Cypriots fault, and it was just all Turks from the mainland. What are you
Yeah,
on about?
exactly. So we both thought. So why are you deciding when to leave?
Because it's our land.
Cypriots.
No, that's our land. Ours.
No. Islamically speaking, the people who live on the land have got a right to defend it, and you just help them.
And we
Don't
defended
become.
it.
No, you help them defend it.
Yes.
Same in Bosnia, right?
So,
Now,
Turkish
wait.
at the
Let
that
me
gives
land
us
it.
the
Let me
right.
land
That
it. Let
gives
me
us
land
the
it.
right.
So Turkish sent troops to Sarajevo to protect the Bosnians against another G side. Does that mean it becomes part of Turkey now?
Islamically, we have the right to claim it.
No, you don't understand Islam. That means
Islamically, we have the right to claim it.
you don't know Islam. I'm telling you now, you don't know Islam.
Islamically, we have the
Your
right to claim
man,
the
brother,
south,
you're
bro.
putting
What are you
out
on about?
fatwa. Man's putting out
Listen.
fatwas. You don't know Islam yourself.
Islamically, we have the
Caucasian.
right to claim the south.
Caucasian,
It's not
don't waste
true.
your
It's
look.
not
What are you
true.
on
Look,
about?
It's not true.
don't waste your time with
Any
one
land who
guy.
has been ruled by Sharia
He can
and has
say
been
what he
lost, we
wants.
can
He can
reclaim it. It's
say what
always
he
our land in
wants.
our eyes.
He
Brother,
can
you
say
gave
what.
it up yourself. Turkey gave it up, bro.
No. We had to give up because we were threatened by these
There ain't no
enemies.
had to. You gave it up. You gave us up, really. As Turkish Cypriots, we can say you, the Ottoman Empire, gave us up to the kuffar.
And what you just said,
The
quite
kuffar
frankly, is
that you're trying
embarrassing.
to align with are the ones that
It
were
don't matter.
invading
You gave
us.
us up. What do you want us to do? We got to survive now.
Well, you lots are just like some liberal brainwash stuff.
No,
You
it's
don't
not
know
liberal,
Islam.
bro.
That's the problem. You don't know Islam. You're chatting Islam, but you don't know Islam.
Bro, I swear to you, you lot could daydream what you want. There's 90 million of us. If you lot think you can unify and take that away from us,
So now you
good
want to
luck.
take it from Turkish Cyprus? Is that what you're saying?
No,
yeah?
you're part of us already. There's no
We're
taking
not a
this
part
already.
of you, mate. We're
This is
Cypriots. We're not Turkish from Turkey.
Hold
go
on.
on. Trigger 90 million of us. Go on.
Now,
Oh, what,
can you see
90,
why?
hold on, 90 million, yeah? You know 20% of your population's Kurdish, so get it right.
50 million is Kurdish and only 5 million want to separate.
What?
Statistically, 32%.
So it's not 80 million then, is it? Get your numbers right there.
Okay, yeah. I'm half Kurdish and I promise you my Kurdish side will come as well.
Yeah.
Hey, it's half Kurdish and he's chatting. You're
I'm half
rubbish.
Kurdish, half Turkish,
Listen,
yeah.
I
I'm a Muslim.
don't let one person
I'm a Muslim
like you,
too, bro.
So why are you trying to make that difference?
I don't let one person like you sway my judgment. As far as I'm concerned, Turkey did what they did in 74.
Brother, you lot can have your judgments.
They
I'm just saying it's a matter of national security. As Donald Trump claims Greenland.
Turkey didn't participate in the peace talks in Crans-Montana until the very last minute when it came to securities and guarantors. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Erdogan's in charge. I believe in him as a true Cypriot. He's not going to do what Turkey wants. So, as for everything you said, I respect your opinion, but I don't agree with none of it.
You know, Alex, there's a nice episode there's a nice part in Transformers when they want the Autobots to go and then Optimus.
I think your time on this live's done, bro. You got nothing.
You know what Optimus says? He says, "What happens when we go? If you lot ever kick us out and you beg us to come, we will come. We will cleanse you lot out as well, and then we'll take the whole thing for us."
Alex.
So don't
just so you know,
this guy's time's done, bro.
You lot trying to La La Land.
Alright, time's up. There you go.
He's offering nothing, bro. He said what he had to say. I mean, look, I just don't want Greek Cypriots like Cyprus migration atting me in the comments saying that this is what every Turkish Cypriot wants. It's not. It's one guy with that view. This is the first time I've ever heard a Turk come up and speak like that. So don't literally get on a bandwagon and start saying, "Oh, look, this is what it's all about," because he doesn't speak for all of Turkish people.
Alex, look in the chat.
He doesn't speak. I've read it, mate. I've read it.
Yeah, everyone's saying he don't speak. He don't speak for us. He's a psychopath.
I agree. But we haven't heard from Quote Central. Quote Central. You haven't been up before, right?
I haven't been on it before, bro. I've been listening to everyone right now. And
go on, mate. Introduce yourself.
Well, bro, I grew up in Cyprus. I'm 35 years old. I come to the UK when I was 21, so I've been in the UK for quite a while right now. But in my personal opinion, my bro, growing up in Cyprus, coming down to the UK and seeing what's going on in Cyprus right now, I don't know if I can personally trust the Greek side. I'm being straightforward on this.
Why?
Well, what do you mean why, bro? Once they've made the biggest enemy to us as it is, bro. Israel is. I can't trust Israel.
What more than England? But you're living in England, though.
Bro, I live in England. I've got a house in Cyprus. I'm back in Cyprus.
No, but listen to what I'm saying to you. How is the Greek Cypriot side more of an enemy to us than England, the country where you live?
There, they were burning our flag. You're gonna tell me to my face? When I went to Cyprus, they were burning my flag, bro. I've got all my friends.
I don't know if you've seen the Tommy Robinson rally of 100,000 people. brother, listen to me. There's 100,000 people saying kick all the Muslims out of Europe. What are you on about? Did you
Okay,
see that
so
in
I do what
Cyprus?
I'm saying in Europe, bro. Well, Cyprus is my
What do you
home,
mean? Do
bro.
you see that in
The Jews
Cyprus
were on
though?
I
your
done my
side
service
first,
in
brother.
Cyprus, didn't I, bro?
They come to
I
your
don't
side
fuck with you
first.
people in Europe. I done my service in Cyprus. Yeah? So don't turn around and tell me anything. I listen to you lot. I listen to it carefully. Yeah, but I'm telling you straightforward right now. I don't trust them. Yeah, they killed a load of my ancestors. They killed a load of my people. Yeah, if Turkey didn't step into us, yeah, then we would have been fully
Yeah,
finished. We would have
that,
had no
bro.
one on the island. You
I
wouldn't have
think
been
you're
here. I wouldn't have been here. No one would have been here. So
bro.
don't turn around and
Listen,
tell me anything.
Quote.
quote central. You're missing the point, bro. No one's disputing this. Majority of the people on this panel and in the comments, we do these lives regularly. It's not that sort of live. It's not about going back to who did what. This live today specifically is about going forward. What needs to be done to go forward? I hear everything you say, bro.
Okay, so now,
100%.
bro, listen to
So
them in
now
the Greek
what?
side.
Now
Okay,
what? Now
now
hold on.
listen to
Now
them in the Greek
my
side. Listen to
question
what
to
he's
you,
saying to
bro.
every time he stands up. This little
Okay,
guy,
right.
this little.
Listen, my
How old is he? I don't
question
even
to
know how old
you,
he is.
quote. My question to you is now, if you can articulate it, if you can chew a little bit, is
Go
to
on.
tell me how you think a solution going forward. How would you like to see a
Bro,
solution
there
going
ain't no
forward?
solution. I don't think there is no solution, bro. I don't really think there
Okay, so
is.
you just want it as it is, status quo, leave it as it is.
Bro, we just need to get our land back and deal with our own things, bro. Fuck them,
Get what
literally. It's
land back,
straightforward.
bro?
Sorry,
The
excuse my
Greek
language, but
Cypriots and
literally.
Turkish Cypriots own the land and the country equally. What land are you referring to exactly?
Bro, I don't know, bro. We just need to be Cypriots as it is, as a whole. Cypriots, that's it. No Greeks, no
Okay,
Turks, no
so
nothing.
you up for a
Cypriots as
BBF?
Cyprus.
So are you up for a BBF? Do you know what a BBF is? Have you looked into the Cyprus problem? Have you read about the previous negotiations that
Bro,
failed? Are
every
you aware of
negotiations
anything?
I've had, the Greeks have walked out. When we voted 93%, they've left. They didn't want
Okay,
nothing.
that was
Every
the
time we
Annan
tried it,
plan.
but they
Okay.
haven't tried it. So is
Do you
it a
know
thing
about
that's going to come
do
to
you
in
know
my
about
head
Crans
that we take the whole
Montana?
island?
Okay, so what do you want? Do you know a bit about BBF? Do you want me to tell you what a
Bro,
BBF entails?
you can go into detail on BBF. I don't know what that entails, my bro.
Okay, so you need a bit of educating, and that's fine. Look, I hear you. If you want to be a two status and you want to keep it that way because in your mind at the moment that's all you know, I think you lack a little bit of education as time's gone on. I had them stories in my head exactly like you back in the day, you know,
Back in the day,
and a
bro,
lot
I
of
think,
Turkish
one second.
and a lot of Turkish
You live where?
Cypriots
Where
had
do you
that
live?
view.
You live in the UK as well, yeah?
I live in the UK as well, yeah.
Okay, so even in the UK, my bro, dealing with Greeks in the UK as well, I deal with the same shit in the UK as I deal with in Cyprus, my bro.
Okay, bro, that's
Brother,
look.
no one ain't saying anything different than that. But the thing
Okay,
is,
so
this
how are you gonna tell me we're
mythology,
gonna trust
but
them?
quote,
How are you gonna
quote,
tell me there's
quote,
gonna be an end to the
quote,
two thing? You
listen to what
can't
I'm
trust
saying.
them. You
Listen to what I'm
can't
Right,
saying
trust
to you,
them
listen.
here,
fam.
let alone there.
Family, listen to what I'm saying. Quote, Turkey's giving us up, bro.
Turkey's
Turkey's
not
the
giving
one
us
that,
up.
brother, if Turkey wanted to, they could have annexed Northern Cyprus years ago and paved the streets with gold. And no one would have moaned. No Turkish
Caucasian,
shippers would have moaned.
can I just jump in? Look, quotes. I'm not interested in your relationship with Greek people in the UK. That's a two-way street.
No,
I know a
don't
lot of
worry about
Turkish Cypriots that have Greek Cypriots as best friends. If you're going to approach them with that hostility, you're going to get hostilities back.
bro, I
I
don't
haven't
think
struggled. My family hasn't struggled to integrate with Greek Cypriots in the UK, and a lot of my friends and family haven't. And I tell you what, a lot of people on this live and on the panel and in the comments have not had that problem. So I think that's something to do with your mentality and the way you're looking at it. But anyway, that being said, we'll move on. You don't know about the BBF, so I will tell you about the BBF, and then maybe you can change your mind on
I don't know,
being a
bro.
bit
You
more
where were
chill.
you born? Were you born in the UK?
Bro, it's irrelevant where I was born. I'm a
It's not
Cypriot.
irrelevant. It's not
It's
irrelevant. That
Brother,
completely
you asked
irrelevant
the
where
geezer
I
to
was born.
tell, bear quote, you asked the geezer to explain
Okay,
something to
listen,
you.
man. He's
He's
just a
taking,
fucking nationalist rage bait again,
and
man.
Andy, chill one sec. You asked the geezer a
Andy,
question. He's going to
Yeah,
explain
fucking
it.
idiot.
He's going to break it down. He's going to take
Andy,
time out of his
Andy,
life to explain something to you,
you
and
need
you're
to
already
chill.
cutting him.
You need to chill, Andy, because this is the kind of people we need to get through to. Because next time, if this
Listen,
guy
man.
comes on,
His mind's made up. Just leave him alone.
bro,
That's it.
this
Don't
is the
worry about
whole
it.
point of this live. If we get through to someone like this, he might come onto your live and then be a bit more empathetic to what you're saying instead of coming up and
To
having that
me,
whole
Alex, he sounds
rhetoric.
like he's in the beginning of his journey. He sounds like he's at the
No,
beginning.
no, no, no. Look. To make such a
He's got a long
claim that
journey
in
to
the
go.
UK, the Greek Cypriots are barbaric to Turks, when you start making claims like
I said
that,
barbaric.
sorry, but it just shows you are just a nationalist and that's it. Sorry.
How many
You are,
mixed Greek
you
Turkish
don't even want to look at
marriages
it
in
from another
London?
point.
No,
That does not happen. That
Andy, you're
does not
jump,
happen, and he
Bobby,
knows
Andy,
it
how
deep down
many
as
Andy,
well.
mixed Greek Turkish
Andy,
marriages in London?
Andy,
stupid claims to make.
It doesn't make him a nationalist. It just makes him someone
but he's not willing to listen to you there.
One second,
he's not willing to listen to you. You're trying to talk to him. He don't want to listen to you.
It makes him someone that believes the stories that he's been told. Greek Cypriots have this same problem, bro. I run into a lot of young Greek Cypriots that have that same mentality where their history starts at 74. So he's not an isolated incident. All right?
Yeah,
so
I appreciate that.
If he wants the time, I will explain the BBF to him. And if that doesn't change his mind and he wants to be a two-status, fine. That's his opinion if that's what he wants.
That's fine. Let's see then. Let's see.
Do you want us, quote, to explain to you the current way that Cyprus is heading for a solution?
No,
do you want to know or not?
You think he's heading, but you can explain, bro.
Bro, it is heading that way because that's the reality on the ground. The reality on the ground, bro, look, what you said, some of that did happen. Not saying it didn't. There was a lot of atrocities on the island and the division was caused by a lot of bullshit. If we go into that, we're going to be...
I don't think Turkey's going to allow it anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
You're wrong.
Okay,
a lot of people share that view. So at the moment, the current status quo, obviously, it's looking like a BBF. Does anyone want to help me explain a BBF to him?
No, break it down for him quickly. You know better than us anyway, had they, Alex? Quickly. You know.
Cool. I can explain it briefly. A BBF is a bizonal bicommunal federation. So you've got two states, and I was explaining this earlier, by the way, quote, and I'm Greek Cypriot, just so you know. The North, TRNC, it will exist as a constituent state. You know, you've got your flag, you've got your parliament, you've got representation, and then the South will be Greek Cypriot, and it will be Cyprus, and then we'll have one central government that looks after both constituent states. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Go on.
So you've got what I'm thinking you want, which is your independence, in a way, but we're sharing the power. We're equal, you know? We're two equal states, but we're run by one Cypriot government as Cyprus. That's what, simply put, BBF is.
It's just...
You get it, Quo? Does it make sense to you?
Double the vote.
1 minute migration. 1 minute migration. 1 minute. Do you get it now, Quo? So basically, look, for us Turkish Cypriots, we can't afford the status quo to remain the same. You've got a lot of people in the north that are happy with Turkey being there, but a lot of Turkish Cypriots will also say, look, at the same time, we're happy with Turkey being there, but they're sort of taking over, and we are Cypriots at the end of the day. We do have our own identity. And I don't know if you heard the guy that was up before you, the way he was speaking. He pretty much said that it's the north is ours, we spilled blood for it, who the fuck are you lot? Now, does that not upset you as a Turkish Cypriot?
No lie, my bro. Okay, now let me explain, my bro. No lie, that doesn't upset me because, no lie, the Greeks didn't spread blood for us. They killed us. Yeah? So I'd rather have Turkey as my neighbor.
Language. Protect the life.
All right, listen, I heard everything you had to say.
People, my bro. I'm not trying to people that
so unaliving's a privilege.
Let me talk to him for a minute. Can I talk to him for a second?
Yeah, go
Brother,
on.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Do you know the history of the Greeks and the Turks?
I do know the history, my bro. I know the history.
Okay, so didn't they do the same things to each other? Hasn't this been going on for
but it doesn't make a difference. Our people didn't get greedy. Their people got greedy, my bro. Our people did not get greedy. Their people got greedy.
But how did you come to our lands? Didn't you unalive us? And wasn't that part? You think
what
that
do you
didn't
mean, bro? Most of the Greeks killed all the Turks, my bro. You left us in the mini sections of the island. If the Turks didn't come through at the time, yeah, you lot would have killed all of us. You would have killed all my ancestors. And
no. I'm going back to the brother. Hold up. You're talking
but
about
you
said
try and say unalive, guys.
You said just now that was a good thing, yeah? So it's a privilege for Turks to do that. You did say that just now. You admitted it. You said it was a good thing that they can't. They took the land.
Listen, I'm just going to say to my fellow, Cypriot, one sec quote. I just want to say to my fellow Cypriots, yeah, especially the Greek Cypriots, don't take what this guy says literally. He doesn't speak for all. He doesn't speak for all. He doesn't speak for all Turkish Cypriots. He's entitled to his view.
For the ones that were born there,
because people like migration listen to one person like this and jump on.
Can I ask him? You are talking all the time. Take a break.
Yeah, because you come up here and all you do is bloody thrive off people.
You prefer annexation to Turkey or federation as a Turkish?
Because you know what he's going to say.
Annexation to Turkey or the BBF? What do you prefer? Alex, take a break. Shut up. We had enough. It's okay.
You can fucking shut up. Yeah, how about this? See you later.
All right, come on.
Bring him back, man. Bring him back.
You are
Come
the
on.
weakest link.
No.
There's no point having him on here because all the guy does is literally listens to one person's opinion
give me a minute
and
with
stirs
Quattro.
up the rest of the people based on that.
Where are you from in London? You from East London? I got a feeling you're from like Hackney, Homerton. That's the sort of vibe you're giving me. You're from North London, and you grew up with animosity.
I grew up in Cyprus, actually, my bro. Innit? Yeah, I come here after serving.
You come here. You sure you're 35, bro? You sound a bit young for 35.
Yeah, that's what I got said all the time, my bro.
Yeah, but brother, you need to look at everything. Although some of the stuff you're saying is true, would you look at it the same?
I know all the stuff I'm saying is true because my ancestors went through it, my bro. I served.
All right, your ancestors. And what did our ancestors go through?
What did your ancestors go through, bro? You don't know, like, okay.
Have you
let
never
me say something quickly.
Remember, Michael, it's a privilege for them, so it doesn't matter. You've got to remember that. It's a privilege.
You got your Greek point because you was born as a Turk. If you was born as a Greek, would you have that?
1 minute, Mike. Andy, how's it a privilege? You're jumping on one guy. You can clearly see he doesn't know the full history. He doesn't even know how to decide.
He knows. He knows what he wants to hear. What the fuck is this?
What?
You know, you got to stop jumping on. I told you this before. You need to stop jumping on one. Look, if a Greek Cypriot comes up here and speaks whack like the last Turkish guy did and like this guy did,
well, we've got a second one. Yeah.
Do you think that's going to change my view and start being
of course it's not.
towards you and having?
I'm not generalising for all of them.
Then show some respect
but what
for the
I don't
other
like, though,
Turkish
is when
Cypriots
people are playing victim to unaliving, but then glorifying it when they're doing it to others.
I'm not being rude
to
okay, so don't take it personal. Yeah? Don't take it personal.
No, I'm not going to take it personal.
No, don't take it personal and have a dig at him. Then educate him. You've got the platform here.
Listen, man, his mind's made up, Alex.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't want to then participate like Michael's doing to get through to the guy to actually make a difference, then don't have your little digs. Let Michael do his thing. If you're prepared to actually say, you know what, I ain't going to take what you're saying personal. I'm not going to offend the rest. It's fine, bro. Look. That's what you got to learn.
Let me get back to you, brother.
I'm not having a diggy, Andy. I'm just telling you where you're going wrong.
Bro, let Michael talk.
It's all right. I know, man.
I hear where you're coming from, brother. Your ancestors, blood was spilled at the hands of the Greeks. But you got to remember, the Greeks and Turks have had the rivalry that's been going on 1,000 years. Before Cyprus, well before anything like that. And the viewpoint you've got is because you're Turkish. Do you think if you were Greek, what viewpoint would you have? Have you ever stopped to think, right, let me look at it from these guys' point of view. What are they saying? Oh, they conquered their land first or this, that. You got to look at the whole bigger picture. Because although what you're saying is true, there's some truth to it. And then we have to look at the part that Britain played in this, that the US played in it, that the CIA played in it. There's so many layers to Cyprus. And although what you're saying is true, listen, there was atrocities happened to the Turkish Cypriots. You need to look at the whole big picture, not just from that viewpoint, although you are right to a certain extent, but you need to look at the whole bigger picture. It doesn't just start in 74.
It didn't never start in 74.
You need to involve the whole wider Greek-Turkish issue throughout history. The conquering of Greek lands by the Ottomans, and then it was run by them, and then the Greeks and the Turks had the war for independent nation states, and there's a lot to it. It's not just, it didn't just start in 63 or 74.
Michael, let me talk to him 1 second. Quote Central, let me say something to you now, yeah? This ain't about the war, ain't about the history, ain't about who was unalive, ain't about bloody Alexander the Great, bro. Right? What this is about is there is a population of people, namely Turkish Cypriots, that have been put in a bad situation that don't get covered by EU law. There's a mockery of EU law. It's a mockery of democracy. And Turkey's the one saying to the Europeans, you got a minority of Muslims here that you have to give them their just rights, their equal rights. Yeah, so it's not Turkey that's saying, we're going to come in there and we're going to take half of it. And if we don't want that, we'll take the whole thing, like the geezer was saying previously. That's not Turkey's position. Like, no one should mischaracterize Turkey's position as being an aggressor in this situation. The Turkey's bending over backwards to make a solution here. So let's understand what's going on, bro. Like, do you count yourself as a nationalist, quote Central?
I count myself a nationalist, bro. I do count myself as a nationalist.
But if you're a nationalist, I'm an ultra-nationalist. And I'm saying whatever's good for the motherland is good for me. If Turkey's saying we're going to give them the whole of Cyprus and it's better for Turkey, I'm with that.
I'm with that.
Do you understand?
I'm
all right then. So let the Cypriots themselves that have to live there make a deal where they can actually live like human beings instead of like some fucking Native American reservation where they've been put in a bloody corner and they ain't got no international rights. They can't even make deals with anyone. Do you understand what I'm
And
saying
do
to
you
you?
believe the Greeks are going to do that?
The Greeks ain't got a choice, but they're in Europe now.
Bro, I personally don't believe they'll find a way around it, bro. Do you know how many of them hate us?
Don't be silly, bro. Don't be
Quote
silly.
Central. I'm glad you came up. You've heard your view. You've heard from a Greek Cypriot. You've heard from 2 Turkish Cypriots. Now it's on you, bro, to go and do your research and history.
Bro, my research and
From
history, I
one
don't mind
Turkish
history. I
Cypriot
go
to
through.
another Turkish Cypriot, I don't mean to disrespect you. You need to go and do a bit more, and you need to understand the current status quo. If you've got any empathy for your fellow Cypriots, I'm sure you've got family that are living in the north. If you want them to prosper and be recognized as a people on the international stage, you need to change your mindset. To have this mindset, it's not a
You
good
see what
mindset
you
to
want to
have.
see, bro. You see what you want to see. Do you know what I mean? Because you're looking for that. If you look at it from the wider spectrum, the borders have been open how many years? Not one alive in all of the crossings that's happened,
Yeah,
and you're saying that we hate you. How can
yeah,
we hate
exactly.
them? How many Turks live? Some live and some work on the south side of the island. That's not hatred, man.
Bro,
Do you know what
I'm
I mean?
gonna just leave it at that now. I'm gonna rotate you because obviously you've not got nothing to offer here. We've tried to help you.
Before you get him off, can I tell him something?
Yeah, go on,
No,
man.
no, you're the one
No,
person we
no, no,
don't
no,
want to
no. Don't
speak
worry,
to
don't
him.
worry, don't worry.
He's on his.
I'm not
Let him
gonna.
learn. Let him learn.
Okay, because he doesn't know. I'm a Greek from Greece. I'm not a Greek Cypriot. But all right. The thing is that I'm going to tell you is I'm going to totally agree with Alex and my friend Caucasian up there, and I'm going to say this to you.
Bro,
No
you're not
matter
the main
what.
cause of the problem with everything anyway. So that definitely is speaking
All
to you.
right, all right,
Demetrius,
all
I
right.
wouldn't even bother.
No,
He's
no,
just
no. I'm
gonna
not.
he's just gonna
I'm just gonna.
I want to hear Quite
I
Central
see.
come
I
back in a few
see.
more weeks
Hold
after a bit
on.
of research.
Come on, guys. I wanted to tell him that even though he says those things, I still think that at some point of his life he will understand that we're both human beings, and I would
I
give him a
believe that
chance.
too.
100%.
I believe
Listen,
that too.
all of us have gone through this debate on Cyprus. We've all been right-wing nationalists, and we've come over to the left. We've all lived all positions, if we're being honest. Probably
That's
everyone on this
true.
panel's lived
I
all
agree. I
positions.
agree.
So you
What I
need to
wanted you
understand. You know, it takes a
to.
while to come to this enlightenment stage. You know, you lot have been banging out the TikToks for like 2-3 years now. Come on, you lot are enlightened on this more than a
Yeah, you lot
colleague.
Look,
converted me for fuck's sake.
yeah, I
The
think
thing
his
is,
time up here was done. I mean, he's gonna offer nothing now. We've as Greek
we
Cypriots,
shouldn't. We
Turkish
should,
Cypriots, we came
guys. We
together. We
shouldn't.
tried to educate him. You
No, you
know,
gave him some
No, no, no.
homework to do. He's got to go and do his homework now. He can come back
but
in it once he's done.
All right.
that's how it
Anyway,
should
guys.
be.
Guys.
Yeah.
So
That's what me and Soph are trying to do. We're not trying to what we're trying to do is, Soph, do you agree with this as well? We're not trying to have a live where we're on here fighting. Yeah, we're debating. It gets heated, but the purpose of this live is to educate people like him on both
Yeah, yeah,
sides.
yeah.
Because, like I said, we get people like him from both communities, and if we
Exactly.
all come together to try and educate them and give them a chance, and then they go and
Alex,
do the
Yeah.
Greek.
me and you, we're on the same page, man. As I've said it before many
Yeah.
times, we're on the same
You know,
page.
we had that guy up from Turkey a minute ago. We went round in circles with him. He got dropped because he wasn't going to offer anything else. I said what I had to say as a Turkish Cypriot. Khan said what he had to say as a Turkish Cypriot. And we moved him on because if we leave him up here, all he's going to do is antagonize the Greek Cypriots. And even I can't agree with him as a Turkish Cypriot. So it's pointless you guys having a go at him. So he had to go.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
as for
Is
this
as
kid, this guy,
Yeah.
you know, I appreciate Michael trying and then Dimitri stepping in, but it's pointless. We said what we had to
Yeah.
say to him. Just
Can
have
I
to move on.
can I say
what
something
what
though, Alex? At this point, I just want to say something quickly. Yeah, both sides have got warriors and both sides have got peacemakers. There's a time for each. The time now. Let the warriors step back and let the peacemakers from both sides make an agreement. But you can't fucking spoil their work. While they're working, let them work. While they're
Yeah.
cooking, let them cook. Let them come up with a deal. The Warriors need to, like, the Warriors done their bit. They got us to where we are. Now fall back. There ain't no time for war right now. There ain't
What
no
was
war
it? What
between
was the young
Turkey and
man's
Europe.
general consensus? How did he
He's
feel
like
about?
on, what's it called? My old position of
He didn't know much.
annexation,
He
basically.
didn't know much about the current state of affairs, annexation, two states, status quo, pretty much that. I mean,
It's not even on the cards. Even it's the assembly you can't get annexation.
by the
It's a
sounds
pipe
of it,
dream.
what he was saying doesn't make sense because he lived out in Cyprus. He served apparently. I mean, if you lived in Cyprus and you served, you would see that you don't want to be living under those conditions. You want your people to be recognized and you want to be independent, right? Where you can do things under your own right as a Turkish Cypriot. I don't believe he served in Cyprus, and I don't think he lived in Cyprus because he
It
lacks
was
that.
dubious. It was
Yeah.
dubious.
I mean, I've said this before. We're very lucky to have a nation like Turkey play the guarantor card and guarantor state, because they've managed to ensure peace on the island for 50 years. There's been
It's true.
no false flags. There's been no unalivings. There's been no roadside IEDs. There's been no explosions. There's been no tea attacks, and there's been no fascism, especially from the Turkish Cypriot side. How long will the people sit down and stay shut? How long will the Turkish Cypriots turn the other cheek and wait patiently? It's time that they're given their rights, and it's time that they're recognised and treated as equal human beings on the island.
Exactly.
If the Turkish Cypriots are given their rights, then they will integrate quite happily, and they will take part in the ROC as equals. And rightly so. The Turkish Cypriots founded that island. They have the same rights as anyone else.
Exactly.
That's it. That's what I want to hear, brother. That's what I want to hear. Well said, brother. That's it.
Does a Greek Cypriot want to counter what he said? Andy, Michael, Demetrius? We can keep the debate off on that.
I will. I understand his perspective. The thing is that the worries
Someone's
me
TV in the
sometimes.
background's very loud. Sorry, I can hear the
No,
TV.
that's not me. That's not me, dude.
It's not me.
Okay. The thing is that I do agree up to a point. The fact is, though, that we have to see. I understand that peace is a very important commodity, but peace without prosperity, there you have a problem. I don't know if you understand my way of
What's the
thinking.
problem?
Well, if the Turkish Cypriots remain on the same page as they are now, an unrecognized state, the way they live right now, well, can you eat peace? Can you fill your belly with peace?
We're eating.
No. Well, it's a metaphor.
I know what you're saying.
All right.
I mean, Demetrius, I don't mean to be rude, bro. I don't get what you're talking about when you talk. I mean, earlier you lost me, and now you're losing me again. When you make an analogy or your rebuttal,
I think
I
what
can't
he's trying
place
to
what you're
say
saying.
Alex, I think what he's trying to say is sorry, not put words in your mouth. Is it Dimitri?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't
think
mean
what
that
he's
in a
trying to
rude way
say
at all.
is can they have can they be in control of their own destiny? Peace just doesn't come in the form of just there's not been any unalivings. You know, does it mean that you can make your own decisions? You could be your own race, have your own culture, and you're not obedient to a master race, basically, to someone else. I think that's what he's trying. Is that what you're trying to get at, Dimitri?
Yeah, well, pretty much that's what I'm saying, and also is that peace is a notion that requires other things as well. I mean, for example, the people you can see so many countries they have peace, they don't have prosperity.
Well, we're lucky. We have both right now.
Do you have prosperity?
The Turkish Cypriots are very prosperous people. You know, albeit they've been sanctioned and embargoed and oppressed, but they've still done very, very well for themselves.
Yeah, comparing.
Yeah, that's true. They're not struggling, to be honest with you, Demetrius.
No, I know, but compared to the Greek Cypriots, I don't think they have the same prosperity.
I think the prospects. I mean, we spoke about Turkish Cypriots. And
Hold
business.
on a minute, Escape. Do you know what the national living wage is in the north? I think it's more than what the people in the ROC get as a basic wage.
think the average wage in the south is about between 800 and 1200.
Yeah, and I think it's more than 1200 in the north.
Yeah, and the pensions in the north are astonishing, but it's all subsidised by Turkey. I mean, there are some people in the comments who despise Turkey and its government, but the Turkish government and Turkey as a guarantor state and as a friend to the Turkish Cypriots had been paying out of their own pocket and providing salaries and pensions and infrastructure and roads and hospitals.
Thank you.
And all the rest of it. So we need to turn to Turkey and thank them, and everyone needs to understand that without Turkey, we'd have been left to rot.
I agree.
Sheni, just before, let me just land this, because I want to just come in on something that's really relevant right now. And maybe I'm a little bit too hip hop and a bit too cool, but there's a young girl called Antogi, and she's doing the song for
Antigone,
Antigone for Eurovision.
Yeah,
I'm not that cool, Andy.
The Chalua from London, yeah.
But the thing is, it's been 50 years and there's been no olive branch from the Greek Cypriot side to integrate Turkish Cypriots. There's been no attempt to turn around and say, how dare you come over too? Let's do a joint Turkish and Greek song.
Yep.
Ultimately, the joint language on the island, according to the Republic of Cyprus constitution, is Turkish and Greek. For 50 years, there's been no olive branch. And I have to say, I was expecting something from this song. There's nothing. There's no olive branch from this song.
You know
either.
what? I agree with you, Escape, because you know that Cypriot song Dilirga? It's in Greek and Turkish. There's a Turkish and Greek version that mixes.
Yeah, and Çifteteli, which she references.
And yeah, so for example, I get Turkish, you, bro, listen, I've been banging this drum.
Çifteteli is just a dance, that's all.
Do you not want us to let you have a crack at your
I would have used Dilirga, but anyway, the point I'm making is I've been banging this drum for 2 years. Opening extra border crossings and proposing solar panels isn't the way forward. It's what Escape just said. Things like that, little things like that, will integrate the communities together and show a shift in the mentality. But unfortunately, on both sides, we're not doing that with each other. And yes, I am happy with the talks from Crans Montana, even though they ended. But I am happy for them to carry on from where they left off, because the foundations were solid. And they only failed on security and withdrawal of troops, which I don't see as a big issue. And I think we can get over that hurdle. But I tell you something that does worry me under a BBF, and I'm hoping that eventually we will have a BBF, that mindset and that mentality of inclusion, of things like that. For example, what Escape said with the Eurovision, these are things that need to be natural and not be pushed, should come from the heart.
Exactly.
You know? And that's what I want to see. It's not always about politics. Sometimes it has to be about common sense and empathy as well. And we lack that.
Alex, let's hear Sheni as well. I'm not sure if we've heard from you before, Sheni.
Well,
no, I'm just listening in.
Have you been up before?
Alex.
Have you been up before, Sheni?
Sorry?
Have you been up here before?
I have been up here before.
Ah, okay.
Right, and I'm just listening, and I'm totally agreeing with Alex this evening. I'm a Turkish Cypriot, born and bred in London, in Green Lanes. I've never had any problems with my fellow Greek Cypriot neighbours, never ever to this day.
Come on, North London, mate.
Come
on, we love each other.
We
love
probably
each other.
do, but you know what? The way you were going on, it was like you're so hostile. Why?
Me?
No, that was the guy. He's gone now. That was someone else.
Gone. I apologise. I totally apologise.
It's all right. I'm used to getting it from Turkish Cypriots on these panels. Don't worry.
But you know what?
You see, Andy, she's come up and she's digging out quote. And she's Turkish Cypriot. This is what I'm saying to you. You need to chill, bro, because we'll do it for you.
Chill
You know
out.
what I'm saying to you? We're not going to sit here and jump on a bandwagon, bro.
Let's put aside the flag from Greece or the flag from Turkey. We're meant to have a united flag of Cyprus. It's the Cyprus island in yellow with the olive trees leaves. What's that mean? We're not united. No one's offered us an olive branch. Hence why Turkey is with us. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that.
Sure, no, I agree.
If someone come up with a peace resolution, right, I'm sure Turkey would say, all right, folks, this is it now. You're on your own now, just like the other half would be.
Of course.
Are you sure about that?
I'm
Yeah.
positive. Someone just said, we're not sufficient enough. We've been sufficient for 50 years. Come on.
Look, I agree with you, and I've explained this to a lot of my fellow Cypriots, especially the Greek Cypriots. I've explained this, and me and Andy had a very good discussion. Was it last week, Andy, on my live when we was on there till late, and we went over all of this, and we even said look, the basis of Crans Montana is a good place to start, and I even pointed out to Andy that Turkey didn't interfere in those talks until the very last minute. They were called. They fired up the jet and they came to Crans Montana, and they only participated in the withdrawal of troops and the guarantee side of it, which obviously, yes, it failed on that. But as Cypriots here from both communities, as Cypriots as a whole, we need to take the positives that our leaders at that time still managed to negotiate things that we never thought in a million years they would agree on. When I watched that interview and they announced that they solved problems up to the high 90s, I was happy, but then I was gutted at the same time. They failed on the withdrawal of troops. So don't be so disheartened that we're not far away. What I'm trying to say is we ain't far from a solution at all. And the second point I'm going to make is what we spoke about with Andy, is a lot of Greek Cypriots attack Turkey. And when you attack Turkey, you're effectively attacking Turkish Cypriots. I will be the first one on these lives to call out when I don't agree with something that Turkey's doing that affects Turkish Cypriots. I've not shied away from that, but you need to understand that Turkey is essential for Turkish Cypriots currently. They have no other option but to survive, and they need Turkey to survive. So just park your emotions with Turkey and focus more on the Cypriot side of it, and don't worry about Turkey too much and what they're doing in the region. Because like that guy came up earlier, the Turkish guy, that's saying, well, we need Cyprus for our national security, blah blah. What did I say to him? I don't care about your 12 nautical miles. I don't care about your nationals. It's not my problem. I do care. Of course, I don't want nothing to happen to Turkey. But first and foremost, I am Turkish Cypriot. I care what matters for our interests on the island. And I will put someone like him right.
Agree. Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
We shouldn't worry about Turkey too much. We're not far from a solution.
Just talking about that, that's a difference in the dynamic of our relationship between our motherland countries, as I'm sure Dimitri above me will agree. Greeks would never say that to a Cypriot, that, you're us and we can do what you want. They don't speak to us like that. No offense, I'm not being rude or anything.
Is that because you learnt from your lessons, Michael?
No, but
sure, because it was you guys that tried to. It was the Greeks that invaded the island and overthrew the government. You wanted
Enesis.
That's
not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
what I'm
it was
talking
you
about.
guys that wanted Enesis.
Escape. I'm talking about present day. How
okay, maybe you've learned your
Greece would
lessons.
speak to a Greek from Cyprus and how a Turk from Turkey would. A Greek from Greece, I spoke to many of them. None of them have ever. You might see these stupid comments, Cyprus is Greek. They don't speak to us like that. They want what's best for us. And most Greeks from Greece, they realise that the only option really for us is a united, prosperous Cyprus. And they wouldn't say
as a Greek from Greece, I testify to that. He's absolutely right. Most of the Greeks will never say to a Cyprian, you're gonna do what I say.
Yeah. No, but you disown them. You cut them loose. You disown them and cut them loose, though.
Why do you have to take the conversation in that road, dude? It's simple.
Guys, there's a bit of naivety here. There's a bit of ignorance here. Let me just
hold on,
clarify.
There's a bit of naivety on your part as well, though. What you're saying is true to a degree, but you have to accept your reality. We're in 2026. The ROC has been in Europe, which I don't agree with, because they should have used that as a bargaining chip to reunite the island, but that's a different story. But you have to really accept that realistically, there is going to be no trouble on the island. Because the fact that they're in the European Union, you got to be with reality.
No, I agree with that.
There's nothing like what happened in the 60s is never going to happen again.
But let me,
the Greek Cypriots need to understand that what happened in 74 from Turkey is never going to happen again. And that's a fact.
Well, I just want to. The thing is, I just want to clarify because what Michael's saying and our other friend here, user, is that the Greeks wouldn't talk in the same way that Turks talk about Cyprus. Greeks from mainland versus Turks from mainland. What you need to understand is the Turks were forced to intervene as a legal guarantor power, and they lost a lot of lives, a lot of bloodshed. A lot of people gave their children away from Turkey to bring peace to that island. So they're going to talk a little bit different.
I wish you didn't take it back there, but if we, 1 minute, let me
They unalived a lot of GCs on the way in.
Can I just say one thing, Michael, and you can escape?
Go on, let Alex go. I want to say this.
You're saying what you're saying is right, yes. But then you look. I don't want to go backwards tonight. I wanted to go forward. I wanted to talk about what we're going to do to find a solution. We keep going backwards, but if you want to go backwards, we'll keep it. I'll keep it.
I was going to say this to Escape.
Then when Turkey,
I'm just responding to Michael.
Let me respond to Escape. Listen,
well, go on then.
More Greeks from Greece died in 1974 in Cyprus than Turks from Turkey, and that's a fact. About 2,500 Greeks. There wasn't a small army of Greek soldiers. I don't think 2,500 Turkish soldiers were killed during 1974. I don't think nowhere near that amount.
Okay, so why do you think the Greeks are less?
But you said that they spilled blood for it. The Greeks spilled blood as well, helping us.
Okay, so I would expect a Greek to feel strongly about Cyprus too.
Yeah, but they're not involved in it politically. They're just involved in it.
Let me give you an answer as a Greek. Okay. Why the Greeks act like that instead of the Turks? That's what you're asking. I would assume, like, why we don't get involved or try to push the Cyprians. Right?
Well, that's your argument, and I'm just trying to justify why the Turks.
That happens, my friend, because here in Greece, for the last 30 to 40 years, the school system has changed so much in those matters that most of the kids here in Greece now, when they grow up, they see Cyprus as a different state. They don't see it as property.
Can I say something on this point now? Are you not listening? For me, this is you not hear me? For me, this is a clash of civilizations where the Ottomans and the Europeans have a completely different dynamic, right? The Europeans have an idea of democracy where the majority of the population, whatever ethnicity they are, has a say over the land. The Ottomans have a completely opposite 360 position of if you own the land, you own the people, and the people, whether they're Turkish or Greek or Ottoman or whatever, should get the same rights. So we all end up at the same end position, but we're coming at it from completely different opposite views. Now, the reason why you don't need to worry about Turkey in this scenario is because Turkey's already accepted the fact that they've lost Cyprus. The only reason they're there is because of the people. Because they're saying to the Europeans, according to your own laws, you're supposed to look after these people and you're not looking after them. So we have to come in and make sure that they don't get, finished off. We have to come in. Right, but Turkey's never been in a position.
I'm going to jump in because you're right. If the EU was to say to Erdogan, we're not recognizing you until there's a solution, but you know what? We are going to fund the TRNC until you find a solution with the Republic of Cyprus, whether that's a BBF or a one state, to take the pressure off the TRNC to not rely on Turkey as much. But they haven't done that.
Exactly.
Why? They waste all this money on fucking shit all over the world, but they won't say to the TRNC, do you know what? You are in the European Union, it is suspended, but we will fund your side until you find a solution. You know what, even furthermore, we'll put a cut-off on it. We'll say it's 2 years, and we'll review it like the United Nations does with the peacekeeping force. But they don't. That's the problem.
Why don't they do it, Alex?
Because they want the status quo to remain the way it is.
Thank you.
Fizaas has spoke about this in European Parliament. Why doesn't the EU do for more for Cyprus? And no one ever seems to got an answer. There's powers that be high up in secret society that are part of countries.
Well, it is, Michael. Well, it is. Europe's got Turkey over a barrel right now, right? With the Cyprus thing. And this is why, because they can blackmail them. They can say, oh, well, until you resolve this Cyprus issue, we're not going to support you in your endeavors in Syria or wherever, right? They can hold it against them. So Turkey's like, all right, let's get this thing sorted out, get out of the way. Let's
I
move
don't
forward.
agree with you on that
We got
one.
bigger
I
fish to
don't agree
fry
with you
here.
either. I
I
feel
don't
like if
agree with
America really wanted
you.
to put pressure on
Look,
them, they could resolve the
Turkey
Cyprus
to
issue
me
tomorrow.
personally, even though we had Tatar for 5 years, who did absolutely nothing in my opinion. At first, I respected his tack. I thought he was playing a hard line game where he wanted to show the Greek Cypriots that he was going to try a different thing by meeting with the Turkic states, pushing this agenda, pushing. For me, he was just an overall bad politician. He had an idea in his head and it backfired. Yeah, and we wasted 5 years. I'm just still hoping that Turkey is still being standing back and not interfering like a lot of Greek Cypriots think they are with Erdogan. I think Erdogan's acting independently. Yes, he has to go to Turkey to shake hands, say thank you for the money that's coming. We have no choice, unfortunately. He has to do that. But I am happy that in Crans-Montana, from 2012, when the negotiations started, all the way up until 2017, they did not sit at those tables to negotiate anything. And that, for me, makes me happy because it says to me that they didn't try and dictate this, dictate that. They allowed it to our leaders at the time, Akıncı and Anastasios, to work all of that out. So I still am hopeful that Turkey will allow a deal to go through as long as the leader of the TRNC and the ROC are happy. So I think people need to stop worrying about Turkey and what they're going to do, because there is a little bit of truth to what Caucasians are saying. The EU do have Turkey over a barrel, and Cyprus isn't a big thing for them. Turkey want to expand in other areas, and as far as they're concerned, they see the north as stopping them from doing that. And if you talk to a lot of Turkish people from Turkey, they actually see Turkish Cypriots and the Cyprus problem as holding them back. When I was in Turkey and I was talking to them, and I was talking to this Turkish guy, and he was like, he was basically blaming me as a Turkish Cypriot for why his business wasn't prospering because he wasn't in the EU. And this was close to 2004, 2005 when I was on holiday in Antalya years ago. But his attitude towards me was, oh, you people have cost us prosperity in Europe. That's pretty much what he said to me. And I understand it because he sees me as a Turkish speaking person, but he doesn't see me as one of them. So don't be fooled and think that Turks really are obsessed with Turkish Cypriots and Cyprus, because they ain't. They really
I'll
ain't.
tell you what, a
The
lot of them
people
don't
ain't, and
even know
nor
where
the government.
Cyprus is.
Exactly.
I agree, gents. I agree. I've had a similar situation many times. I speak Turkish with an English accent, so they think, oh, she's not Turkish, she's not from here. But when I tell them that my ancestry is from Cyprus, oh, so you're Greek? No, I'm Turkish. It's funny, but they don't. It's almost like they're detached from us. We are our own people. And going back to, I remember when the borders first opened in 2003, if I'm correct me if I'm not, it was, the British should have negotiated with both sides to let us in. They didn't let us in, and they just opened the doors for the South, and that was it. And then the people of the Turkish Cypriot side, they were just left to their own devices.
I agree, Seni, because the British don't
The British are the
intervene.
ones who want us
Because
separated.
the British don't intervene because the status quo suits them to keep their military bases. That's why, and the ROC is clever because they never antagonize the British, because they don't want the British to then turn around and say, all right, if we're going to lose the bases, then we'll recognize the TRNC. That's
This
why
is
they
the
don't. That's why
point.
they don't ever poke the British. And as for the EU, they're a disgrace. All right, like I
Thank
said about
you.
5 minutes ago, they could have solved the Cyprus problem 20 years ago, and they didn't. And they
Exactly.
frustrated the TRNC, and they lied to Turkey, and they lied to Turkish Cypriots, and they made the problem worse. And they're still making the problem worse to this day
They're
because
still lying.
they're not offering funding to the Turkish Cypriot government or leader, whoever you want to quote it, to say, look, we will support you until you find a solution on this island. They're not doing that. So look at the task that the TRNC is faced with. You know, you got to understand it from that perspective.
You don't need to
Really,
ask
really.
yourself, why does no one try and do anything in the international
And
space?
another thing as
Sorry,
well.
guys.
Another thing as well.
There is a
Turkish
confusion on that,
Cypriots.
dude.
One sec, Dimitri.
Alex, finish up and we'll hear from Nick. Nick's been waiting for a little while there.
Turkish Cypriots also don't blame Greece anymore. You rarely hear a Turkish Cypriot that comes on here and says Greece is pulling the strings in Cyprus, because they know that Cyprus is stronger than Greece currently, whether they like it or not. Cyprus is thriving. In fact, Cyprus has had support from Greece. So even
Financially,
some of
let's not
the
go too
hard
far. Financially,
yeah, but there is no risk of enosis, Hellenism. That's all done. And the thing is, a lot of people, because I read Panop's comment where Turkish Cypriots are saying, "Oh, Greeks are sympathetic to it." I don't think that's the case at all. And I think even maybe more of the hardline Turkish Cypriots wouldn't even put a lot of blame on Greece now either. I don't know. Let's ask Jan for a second, and we'll ask Nick. Like, Jan, do you think Cyprus is dependent on Greece, or do you think Cyprus can function on its own?
Function on its own.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's fine. Go on, Nick.
Wait, guys, can I get a mic check? Sorry, does this mic sound any better than my other mic?
Go on, Nick. Tell us, mate.
Just really quick, because I've been watching all this lives from Sophocles, and I really like the conversations that are happening now.
Yeah, you look familiar, mate. I think you've been in the comments before, right? I don't know if you've been up before.
Yeah. I've been in the comments. I've been in one of the lives in the early ones when you were in Cyprus yourself. So there are some facts that we got to put on the table. Now, I am involved a little bit in politics. I'm not a politician. And the fact is that in politics, the TRNC is not a recognized country or republic from any other member state of the European Union or the world except Turkey. Now, we know the facts that Turkey is supporting the TRNC by military power, schools, the police.
Yeah, Nick,
so
we know
they
all
are
of this,
funding
mate.
the TRNC.
We know.
Nick, we know this. Just get to your point.
Thank God they are.
No, I'm just putting some facts down. Now, coming to today, we also know that the Republic of Cyprus does have a few villages that Turkish Cypriots live in, and they live in peace. That's the truth. Now, there's also another thing that's happening, because I know for a fact that the Republic of Cyprus is supporting these Turkish Cypriot families. They provide private school funded from the Republic of Cyprus to the Turkish Cypriots for private schools, where there is the English school, grammar school, Met High, American Academy. They can choose where they want to go, and that's paid off from our government.
Yeah, it's their government as
Okay.
well. Get
Yeah,
it
whose
right.
government? Whose government?
It's their government as well. Get that right. And they're entitled to that, by the way, under the Constitution.
Yes, which is there.
Alex, let me
of
say
course.
something. When we get wait. When we get a mad Turkish geezer come on, we will put him in check. But we got a mad Greek geezer come on. Why are the Greeks silent now? Where's Andy now speaking?
He don't sound like he's mad, bruv. He don't sound. We ain't even let him stand his position.
All right. He said our government. He's saying our government, like we're foreigners.
Okay, Caucasian.
Yeah, I'm saying our government. I mean, it's the people that live in the Republic of Cyprus, and when I say the Republic of Cyprus, I mean south of Cyprus. Whether they are Turkish Cypriots or Greek Cypriots,
I know, mate, but
it's
look,
our
can I just
government.
say
It's
something
their
to you?
government as well.
Can I just say
it's
something?
It's our government.
What you're highlighting means nothing to the Cyprus problem, because they've been entitled to this since 2004.
Exactly.
Yes, they go over, they benefit from it equally, like a Turkish Greek Cypriot would benefit from it. They benefit from it. That's not the issue here.
Yes, but you need to know. You need to know that the Greek Cypriots. You need to know that the Greek Cypriots are not entitled to this funding for private schools. Did you know that?
You actually, and they can't go to a Greek school. That's why they're giving them this funding. I presume that's why they want to try and be.
Well,
they're trying to.
They are allowed to. They are allowed to go
to a Greek school.
No, they don't force them, but they're allowed to go to a Greek school if they want to.
Yeah, but they're
Nobody's
Turkish,
going to
so
say
that's
anything
probably
to
why
anybody.
they offer them to go to an English or American academy, because they feel maybe it's a bit patronising to ask Turkish Cypriots to go to a Greek school.
And another thing as well, they're not doing that out of the way you're explaining it is what's got my
As if it
back up.
was a privilege.
Exactly. You're explaining this like it's come out of they've had a meeting in the government and they've gone, right, we need to do this for the kids of the
Alex,
Turkish Cypriot. It's
I don't
not.
think he said, Alex. I don't think he says it as
Well, it's
something like
either he's
that.
saying it that way or he's saying it as like, I don't know what's
All
going
right.
on and he's trying to
Okay.
educate.
No.
That or that.
I'm just
really.
trying to put some facts down.
No, Alex, don't
Alex.
take it like that. What I received from what he said is that he's trying to take away the fears that the Turk Cypriots have of equal rights.
I get that.
So we
are
already providing
is that
equal
what he's
rights.
saying?
But
Is that what he's trying to say?
That's not. But that's.
And
But
not
then
just,
if he
guys,
wants to go
it's
further,
not just equal rights. I'm not just pointing out equal rights here. I'm just pointing out the good faith that we are providing to these people
but it's
that
not
come
good
to
faith,
live in South
it's not good.
Cyprus.
Nick, it's not good faith. It's compulsory. Whether the government like it or not, they have to do it. When Turkish Cypriots come to get
Alex, you said
you've got a point, Alex. They don't have to send them to private school. They're doing a nice gesture there.
Yeah, but wouldn't it cost them more though, Michael, if they would give them Turkish education on the Greek side? It cost them more, wouldn't it?
You've got to be snookered there. That's a good point.
It's
exactly
Alex. It's minimum 4,000 euros every year for the kids to attend to a private school in Cyprus.
Why don't they hire Turkish teachers and integrate them into the schooling system?
Exactly.
But did you also know that in the Greek Cypriot Lyceum they do teach Turkish language? Did you know that?
No,
now the
I
kids
didn't know
are allowed
that.
to choose. The kids are allowed to choose whether they do English, French, Italian, Turkish. They choose if they want to.
No, Nick,
it's not compulsory. They choose.
Nick,
I mean,
English
if I want to do Turkish studies,
English is compulsory.
English is compulsory, but their kids can choose if they want to have a secondary language, which can be French, it can be Italian, it can be German or Turkish.
As far as I'm concerned, it should be compulsory on both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
English is compulsory. Yeah,
exactly.
maybe Turkish should.
Whether the Turkish Cypriots like it or not has to be compulsory on both sides, because you have to accept that the island is mixed. Yes, it's been divided for 50 years, but if you've got any intention of reuniting the island,
it should be compulsory.
Even leaving the status quo as it is, it benefits having your children knowing both languages. Whether it's
listen, I'm all up for teaching I'm all up for my kids to learn Turkish. I mean, it's a very good thing to do, and
Nick,
I'm all up for it.
I'm not going to jump the gun with you. I'm going to take it that it's coming from a good place. I hear you. I think that's a good thing. I also think that you mentioned the villages as well. So the other point that you're making is that we can live together. That's also been proven.
100%.
And the fact that the crossings have been open for 20 plus years now shows that there's millions of people crossing daily. That's also a massive
Alex, do you live in Cyprus? Do you live in Cyprus, Alex?
I live in the UK currently, yes.
You live in the UK. Do you know how many people are coming from the north to shop in our markets?
Yeah,
and you know why they're coming for groceries? They're not coming for shoes and clothes and stuff. They're coming for groceries.
Same reason. Same reason.
Did you know there was more
Can I just answer him, Nick? You're right.
What I want to say,
Nick, can I just answer
because I need to go.
Cypriots
Let me just finish.
Turkish Cypriots come for meat. Greek Cypriots come for petrol.
That's right.
It's huge.
Alcohol,
it's our instincts.
Clothing.
Actually,
don't tell
me
we only shop at your side.
They are being checked on the borders, and if you have a larger amount of tobacco products, you will be fined, and they will take it. You won't be able to bring it through. But in any case, what I want to say, what I want to say is that Turkey is affecting the north of Cyprus. And
No, go away.
and
It's not
that could
affecting
be
us.
because
No,
Go
no,
away.
It's
no.
not
it
affecting
is,
us. It's
Shut up.
it is, and I'll
feeding
tell
You're
you
an
us.
why.
idiot.
It's
Hear what he's got to
feeding
say.
us. It's
Yeah,
feeding
what's all this
us.
madness, like calling people
Just
idiots? Let him speak, man.
hear what he's got to say.
Yeah, let him speak. I
Fuck
didn't even hear what he
me.
was going to say.
Sophocles, may I say something because I
No,
have to
one sec,
leave.
Nick. Explain what you mean.
No, let Dimitri say
Explain,
something. He's been
please.
wanting to say something for a while. He's got to go. Let's see
Yeah, no,
what
but I
Before,
want
Dimitri.
to hear what Nick's
May,
got to say on
guys,
about.
one second because I have to go because I have to work in the morning. I'm gonna leave on that. I'm gonna leave on that quote. First of all, and I really do hope that everybody will agree on this. In order to solve this problem, we have to fix our mentality, Greeks and Turks as well. The first thing that we have to do, and it has taken place in Greece for
Sorry,
a long
ladies
time.
and lady and gents.
May I?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, mate. Go on, Nick.
Hello,
guys.
Dimitri was
Nick.
just saying goodbye to us, Nick. Give him a sec.
All right. We have to fix our educational. Nick, can I speak? All right. Living, I'm saying
yes,
this, but
please.
Yeah, right. I'm saying that we have to fix our educational systems. That's going to be the first step for unification. And I'm saying this.
I agree with that.
All right. And I'm saying this because I've seen it happening here in Greece after the 80s, which is now more than 40 years has taken place. School books have changed. The stories that you say to your kids have changed. And all I think that is because of the European Union and the European laws. But Alex may be different about this, but I would understand. But I live in a European community nation now that is obliged by the European laws. And the Greek government cannot have school books that are not, how should I say,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I agree with you. Yeah,
okay.
times have changed.
Now,
We
and
need, like I said to you earlier, though, we need to get to that stage to be able to function that way.
All right, I'm going to give you an example that Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots will understand much better if you know history. For example, when my father was going to school, well, it was in the 50s and 60s. His school books used to describe the liberation of Tripoli in Morea area.
Tunisia.
Yeah, and they used to describe it as a liberation thing and this and that. And when I went to school, things have started to change. They wouldn't describe it more of a liberation thing. They also described it in a way saying, well, it was a massacre as well because you killed 50,000 women, children, and Turks as well. And now I have my son that is almost 7, 8 years old, and I see the school books now, and I see them change so much, saying the true history. And I know that my son is going to be a much better man than I was, as I am a much better man than my father was.
Yeah. Okay.
Concluding on
Education is
all
the
that,
key. I agree with him. Education is the key.
concluding on all this, I'm leaving by saying, brothers, and I do mean it, Kardash, please, let's all educate ourselves.
That's what
Convince our
this live is about, Demetrius. I don't
Yeah.
know if you've
All right.
noticed.
Let's all educate ourselves and let our kids know the truth and let our governments know that we have to learn the real history. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to me for
Yeah,
a
that
few
was
minutes at
very
least.
yeah.
No worries.
Okay,
Good
and
night.
I'll see you another day.
Take
Okay.
care, my friend.
Well said, Dimitri. Thank you, mate.
Right.
You know, look, me and Soft sharing a idea, bro. Like me and Soft talk all the time, bro. What do we say in private, Soft? What we achieving from these lives?
What do we
Who we
say in
do?
private?
Migraine.
Who we doing it for?
Well, Yeah, I'm doing it for my kids. Alex, you're doing it for your kids, and we're doing it for Cyprus because we love Cyprus.
The future, yeah.
That's it. That's why we're doing this. We don't get paid for this. We donate our time, just like all of you guys are donating your time on here.
Well, you lot are TikTok millionaires, man.
You're having a laugh, yeah?
I was just going to ask you, stuff. When are we going to start getting an appearance fee?
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe charging to join the live so I can share it with you lot. You know, all
Can
this
I
time
just
you lot
say
are donating.
something?
Me and Soft's got some ideas in the pipeline. Might even do some like meet-up lives and where we're together
I've been
and
saying
shit
that
like
for
that.
ages, man.
Yeah, me and Soft's
I'll
got
do a
talking
silver
to
for
you.
you, lot. We come and put it on YouTube, man. Hit the big views, man.
We might even do like a Cypriot day out, bruv, and smash the one that they do over Donkey Lane. Don't worry.
I still like the idea where Alex is going to rent a van and then drive us all around Cyprus, north and south.
Yeah, 100%.
I still like that one.
And we'll we'll attach a full to the top. We'll weld it on and we'll drive around making silver at the same time.
Yeah, I just think people need to be a bit more patient on these lives, listen to people's opinion. I know sometimes people talk whack and you're going to react in a way it's like, shut up, blah, blah, blah. I get like that at times, but, you know, we just need to just hear people's opinions and then, you know, come back with your opinion and see if you can find some common ground.
Look, man, if you're prepared to substantiate your opinion, I think like you should be allowed to air your views. But if you're just gonna start like, there's people that just spout stuff unsubstantiated. I ain't got time for that.
Well, look,
To be honest with you,
I removed Cyprus migration earlier. I'll explain why. He's been on the lives for 2 years. Yes, he talks factual, but he lacks empathy, and all he does is stir up the comments and stir up the panel. And for me personally, he offers nothing. He just literally causes trouble, and
It's
he's
the
not even
same
worth
rhetoric for the last 2 years.
It's just boring. He comes up, this, as digs. It doesn't achieve anything. It sidetracks us, and we end up arguing for an hour because of something he sparks off, and then he conveniently disappears, and then comes back.
Can I just get everyone's
right.
attention about what
he's
Nick
not the Greek
said?
version of me, isn't he?
Yeah, Nick wanted to say something. Go on, John. What did Nick say?
Yeah, no, if I heard it right, he said like Turkish Cypriots can go to any private school in South and that will be funded for their kids. I think that's amazing. Isn't that amazing?
Well, it works out cheaper for them, innit? Otherwise, they'd have to like have a whole education system for the Turks.
No, but there are some schools, private schools, they teach Turkish and Greek.
That's why they're sending them there, probably, John, because they can't. They got to send them somewhere where they can learn their native language properly.
But that's still a bonus now.
Yeah, it's a good gesture.
Yeah, like exactly. They don't have to do it.
We also have guys.
No,
we
they
also
have to do it because it's under the
teachers.
constitution.
Yeah, but constitution is not working
We also
anymore.
have teachers.
We have Turkish teachers as well.
Turkish teachers.
We also have
I'm gonna
teachers
open
that
school.
You can go to private lessons. You can go to private lessons and learn Turkish.
Really?
Yes. You also have teachers that do teach Turkey.
Yeah,
Turkish,
I could teach you privately online if you want to pay me.
Can I just ask everyone a question? Can I just ask everyone a question? Has everyone here seen the interview between the two key negotiators? Because you know it's important, right? Because you know that our two leaders have agreed to start negotiating based on those talks. So has anyone seen what the two
If you haven't seen it, I don't know
negotiators?
what you're doing on these lives. That's like a necessity to watch that.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
So I'm
Alex,
talking to
before you jumped on, Cyprus Migration was saying that the Turkish government put out a statement today saying Crans Montana's like out the window and they're going to start from zero. How true is that statement?
That would be
zero, my friend, because if it didn't come out from Erdogan's mouth, then it's bollocks.
Well, I think Stoffel heard him say that.
No, Alex, there's a little bit of truth in it.
Okay, but that might be true, but that's Turkish government, not the TRNC government.
Yeah,
but I haven't verified that. I haven't verified.
Until I hear it from Erdogan's mouth himself, I am going to stand by the leader who is him. I'm not going to go by what someone else said in Turkey.
I think the distribution of land, what they agreed in Crans Montana, is gone. That's finished.
What do you mean? It was the best.
But we don't know
solution.
We
couldn't get a better solution.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. We don't know that. All we know currently is when they last met, they said that they're going to work off Crans Montana. Okay, if that's true, a few things are going to be tweaked with the land, then it's going to become public soon. They're going to renegotiate. That's fine. You have to remember there's been a gap from 2017 to 2026, there's been a gap. There's
Inflation,
been a
bro.
lot. There's been a lot of development that's gone on, for example, in certain areas. So of course it's going to need retweaking. But I'm positive that they will find common ground like they did from 2012 to 2017. So just stay positive.
You know what, Alex? I'm thinking about that Turkish Cypriot guy that was on earlier. Do you think he's going to go out and do a bit of research now?
I hope
I
so,
think
mate.
That guy. Do you think we got through to him?
he's got potential, man. He needs to open
Do you
his
think?
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
not
that's it.
opened his
That's it. We've
eyes.
done one good thing tonight, boys and girls.
He's, as the Cockneys say, he's got the blinkers on. To use Cockney
Yeah, I
slang.
think he. Do you know what, Sof? I think he already knows the majority of what we were saying, but he's just too proud to admit it. You know, I mean,
I hope so.
it's hard.
I think you know what it is,
Because
Alex. I think when you're younger and you hear, the Greeks killed or they unalived my uncle or my, I think that that resonates with you a lot. You need to
bro, to be
grow up to be
honest
a
with
mature
you,
man to actually face that head on and understand
I
it.
tell you why I don't believe why he's so hardline, because I know for a fact, well, not for a fact, but from the way he was speaking, he definitely didn't serve in the military in the north.
He didn't
And
sound 35.
he did not live there, because had he had lived there, he would have agreed when we said to him about, do you want your Turkish Cypriot people to prosper, to be recognized as a people, to compete on the international stage? And he turned around and said something stupid. Now when you've lived through it, you're not gonna say something like that. I'm sorry.
And most people that got right wing views are in the diaspora. I mean, we've noticed that most people with right wing views are the Turks and the Greeks living overseas, which is funny enough, isn't it? We very rarely
Nah,
get, besides
I think
migration.
the Greek Cypriots that I've met that came from Cyprus to England were more radicalized than the ones that were here.
Bro, and another thing that
But
lost me.
saying that, I've met some Greek Cypriots that were like proper Grivas people as well in
And I
London.
tell you where I knew
I've
he was
never met
chatting,
people like
and
this.
I
It's
tell
so
you
funny
where
that
I
you say
know.
that, 'cause I haven't.
I tell
I don't
you
know,
where I
must be
know he
where I'm
was
from.
chatting the utmost shit as well.
When he said he was
Was when
35.
no, not that. He can be 60 for all I care. When he said that he fights with Greeks in London, that is
No.
absolute
In
bullshit.
North London, he said
Because
specifically North London.
and I
So,
specifically said to him, well, that's something that you need to correct with your mind. Because if you have that mindset, you're going to approach people. That's something that you need to reflect on. I'm sorry.
but
Like,
right now, as we speak in North London, I would say there's probably about 2,000 mixed couples of Greek and Turkey. That higher number, that's how common it is. So
yeah.
we ain't getting this fighting each other.
Like
More like the
Soft said,
Greeks
I
and
hope we
Turks
got through
united
to
to
him.
fight other people. That's what happened in my school. We was on the same team.
I spoke to him. Caucasian spoke to him. I spoke to him. Caucasian spoke to him. Michael spoke to him. I hope, Soft, we got through to him. I mean, it's up to him now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we just planted the seeds.
Yeah, job well done. Job well done, guys. Let's see. Hopefully he'll come back again, and we can talk normally. We can have a proper, decent conversation with him. So
I was surprised by Nick. You know, when Nick started speaking, I thought he was going to come on the negative, but he flipped it like 180 on me.
Nick's still here. Nick's still here. How you doing, Nick?
Yeah, Nick.
Nick wanted to speak more.
That's what I was about to do. So I was about to flip
I'm still
it
here.
back.
I was
about to
say
flip
something
it on
else
you,
earlier.
Nick. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So, Nick, how do you see us going forward? All right, you obviously told us all the facts that
Well,
everyone
listen.
pretty much knew, but have you seen that interview?
No, I haven't seen the interview. To tell you the truth, the past
really
few
need
weeks,
to watch it, Nick.
past few weeks we've been very, very ill in the family, and
I hope you get well soon.
Hope you wish you better.
Thank you, guys. So, what I was saying, I didn't actually finish, but I know this live is going to end soon. But I heard, I think it was from Alex that the European Union is not providing any funding to the TRNC and to get everything resolved. Now,
I know where this is going.
There are a few reasons. Listen, there are a few reasons why, and I'm not going to say illegal occupation or not recognized country or anything like that. I'm just going to put it down to economics completely. Now, all the European Union countries, okay, they are dealing in euros. and they are a part of the ECB, European Central Bank. Now, North Cyprus, the TRNC, is connected directly to the Central Bank of Turkey, and they're using Turkish lira. So one reason
So what's your point?
is the currency.
What is your point, Nick?
Now,
Sorry.
Nick. They could look. If the European Union was to approach the leader of the TRNC and say, "Look, we are going to support you financially. Would you change your currency officially to euro?" He would say yes.
Yeah.
And no one would object. So I don't know where you're going with it.
I don't understand
but
either.
in order to change the currency, it means that you completely cut ties with Turkey.
Okay, my friend, but
Nick.
listen, hold on.
This
Can I
is
just
something
take it
that
back a
cannot
sec?
be done.
All right, can I
Why
take
not?
it back a sec? Can I take it back a sec? 1 second. Let me take it back. What I said was, why doesn't the European Union fund the leader of the North, the government? They can pay them in euros, and then they can swap that money up in Turkish lira and function as it currently is. The argument isn't about converting the North into euros. You've jumped the whole step. All I'm saying is they can pay them in fucking Somalian pounds for all I care.
This is another.
The point is to give them money.
Whether
it's sterling, euro, dollar. The point I was making is they need to give the money to the North, so the North cannot rely on Turkey. Then the North can convert that money and use it to run the North. But
precisely.
Maybe if they want to put restrictions on it, it's got to be used for this. That's fine. If the North really wants that help and really wants a solution, they would agree to it. As long as they're not stupid restrictions, then yes, I would understand the EU want to protect that money. And even if they want to put a timeline on it and say, look, we want to see progress within 2 years and we're going to review it and we might withdraw the funding, that's fine. If they're taking the money and wasting time for 2 years, then take the money back.
Guys, I think we do need a GC to request as well. I think Nick's outnumbered at the moment. Any GCs hit the request. Sofo.
Bring A up in the comments.
I want to bring fellow Sofo up, but I'm guessing he can't join at the moment.
He's not getting no flack there. I'm just saying because he just went on a whole rant about the currency changing to do with this bank and that bank. It's not about banking. We're not changing nothing. It's about giving the money. As you could call it a loan if you want, for example. The whole point is to take the pressure away from Turkey. It's a reliance on Turkey, not the pressure, the reliance on Turkey. And
I've got to say something here. It's only about 1%, 2% of the GDP of Turkey that they pump into Cyprus. It's nothing. Escape could probably tell you how much they pump into Cyprus.
It's 500 million on each protocol.
What's that? Is it the EU you're talking about, or
no?
Turkey?
How much GDP of Turkey is allocated to Cyprus?
Not much. I don't know about GDP's term, but listen. Turkey funds everything. If you try and put a number on it, it becomes difficult because I think, like Alex said, it's over 500 million a year, maybe more.
500 to 600 million. But can I just interject and say that in the last 15 years, Turkey's actually seeing money back.
Yeah, possibly.
So it's not all one way. They're taking money out of the country as well.
Every time a plane lands in Turkey, they're getting paid. Yeah. People should realise that.
I don't think they get all their money back, but they are getting a considerable amount is going back to Turkey, whether that's to the government or businesses or whatever.
They get special tax reliefs as well, I've heard.
It's a two-way thing.
Look, I mean, Cyprus...
Another reason for the EU to fund the leader of the TRNC is, it will alleviate those worries that you hear from a lot of Greek Cypriots. Is Turkey has a lot of influence, Turkey's buying up this, Turkey's buying that. Well, then take that problem away.
Exactly.
Take that problem away. Don't just sit there and complain about it. Do something about it.
When they were building the new Airgun, they could have said, well, look, if you're going to build it, we can give you so much towards it.
But guys, we've already covered this. I mean, we've all agreed that the Greek Cypriots have no incentive to
the EU.
Yeah, no one has an incentive to do anything on the island because the Greek Cypriots were awarded or rewarded after voting no to the Annan plan.
Yeah.
You know? So, but there's something that I do want to quickly cover, if you don't mind. There's a gentleman in the chat. I'm assuming it's a bloke.
What happened?
Now, A is claiming that Northern Republic of Cyprus is occupied. It's not occupied, guys. There might be a small military contingent there, legally providing a guarantor cover, but the north side is inhabited by indigenous people called the Turkish Cypriots. They should have the same rights as Greek Cypriots on the island.
Absolutely.
They don't. They've been outcast. They've been labelled occupiers, and they've been made to feel inadequate and inferior. And we need to stop calling it an occupied state. It's,
Thank you.
If the Republic of Cyprus wanted to work with the Turkish Cypriots, like Alex said, they should be offering olive branches and creating opportunities for Turkish Cypriots, and they haven't.
No, they haven't. No. Anyway, welcome back, Nick. Nick
is having a party.
Nick, you having another line?
Nick, maybe you requested by accident, mate, or you're underwater. But if you want, come down and come
So
back up.
just to add on what I was saying, guys, because I might need to drop for
Bang on.
Just to add on what I was saying.
Stop. What does this mean? How many olive branches?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
What's that, Shahil? I didn't hear you, Shahil.
The guy here is saying how many olive branches?
What's
What
that?
olive branches?
Didn't catch it.
Well, there hasn't been any olive branches, guys. Let me give you a really nice, humane way to offer an olive branch. I don't know if any of you follow the Premier League, the Football Association, the league in the UK. Okay, the Premier League. It is a law that they have to have homegrown players. They have to have British homegrown players in a team. Okay, so they can have French players, they can have Brazilian players, they can have African players, but they must have a certain number of British players. Why does the Republic?
That goes for all the countries in the European Union as well.
No, because in the Republic of Cyprus, there is no law that obligates having Turkish Cypriots in the national team.
Not Turkish Cypriots.
Well, there you go. And therein lies that's one example of an olive branch.
Yeah, but we're part of UEFA. We are part of UEFA.
So if you're so
where's your
good and
Turkish Cypriot players then?
Why are you not offering equal rights to the people of the island?
If you have a Turkish Cypriot player with a Cypriot ID, then yes, he can be a part of a team in the Cyprus League.
But Nick, why do you insist on denying that there are people on the island that deem themselves to be Turkish Cypriots? That is their identity. Why must you whitewash and try to eradicate their identity? I don't do that to Indians or Afro-Caribbeans that live in the UK. So why should you?
I'll give you an example.
Nick, can I give him the answer? And he's not going to like it, unfortunately. It's because Ralph Dentas declared the TRNC, and that is a de facto state. And the ROC refuses to negotiate with a de facto state. Had he not declared the TRNC, we would be in a stronger position to argue these points. But unfortunately, because he declared the TRNC, we are not going to get what you're asking for, which I agree with, by the way, until a solution is in place. Because everything the ROC will agree to will give some sort of recognition to the TRNC, and they won't allow it at the cost of a humanitarian issue. Again, I don't agree with it, but I understand why they're doing it.
Well, they're concerned. I mean, they're concerned that by doing that offering that olive branch, they will, by proxy, recognise the TRNC. But Alex, let me just counter this. You need to
understand that, though, bro. You need to understand.
That's fine. But this is the point we're making. If they haven't got the balls to offer that olive branch, then naturally these people on the other side of the island are going to look for alternatives. right? Now, I'll give you an example. The Kurds in Turkey. The Kurds have been oppressed for, many, many years. They want to be felt. They want the Turkish government to acknowledge that they exist and that they have an identity and they have a language and they have a culture. We want the same from the ROC. Forget the TRNC and the political makeup and the state. They should offer that equality to Turkish Cypriots.
They won't take the risk.
Fine, but if they did and they offered equality to Turkish Cypriots, I bet you most Turkish Cypriots would leave the TRNC and go and live in the ROC.
And I agree. And we don't want that, though. That's bad.
Well, it might be bad, but if they were smart on the ROC, they'd do it. Because if they were smart in 1974, they wouldn't have done what they did either.
Escape. I'm not going up against you, yeah? I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying that from a factual perspective. That's not my opinion. I agree with you. Anything that you do based on a humanitarian ground is not just good for
Alex.
It's good for the people, but it's good for the mentality to change. But the problem is they won't take that risk. They just won't do it. He won't do it. But I agree.
Guys,
they should.
can you hear me now, by the way?
One sec, Nick. I'm the one on these lives always saying that they need to do this, they need to do that, they need to I'm always the one championing that. But unfortunately, it's going to fall on deaf ears. They won't do it. And even though I understand why they won't do it, they should break that habit and do it, because that's what it's going to take to break this stalemate.
That's it. Break that habit.
Using international law and the de facto state as an excuse, we ain't going to go anywhere. We need to park that and say, look, we need to do this to achieve something. If they saw it from that perspective and that mentality, we might make progress. Because by recognizing Turkish Cypriots to compete or to do this, it will shift the mentality. It will change the mentality in the north, where Turkish Cypriots will then be like, well, they don't hate us. They do care. They do this. But it's not. They don't. And I, in a way, I have to agree with you, Escape. I do. It's tough.
We don't hate Turkish Cypriots.
No one said you hated Turkish Cypriots.
The people that say that they hate, it's not the Turkish Cypriots that they hate. It's Turkey.
Well, what's the difference? Tell me, what's the difference?
There's a difference.
What?
There's a difference, Daniel.
But even now, Nick, it's so outdated. It's an ideology
which is an outdated ideology. I completely agree.
It's holding the country back because Turkey were there. I mean, everyone agrees, even the most hardline Greek Cypriot agrees that Turkey were there legally, at least in the first round. There's a question mark over the second push, but the first push, they were there legally as a guarantor state.
In fact, Magarios asked them to intervene.
Exactly, in no uncertain terms, I suppose. But
we're going backwards.
Don't get me started on Magarios, guys. Don't get me started on Magarios, because I believe that Magarios is one of the, if not 60% of what happened to Cyprus was because of him. Then 100% I'll throw everything on Magarios myself. Because when the Cypriots, the Greek Cypriots fought to make Cyprus whole, to free Cyprus from the Brits, it was only the Greek Cypriots. And my grandfather, my dad's father, he fought in that war. And he lived to speak about it. He didn't talk a lot about it, but he lived to speak about some of the things. And I'm just pointing it out that he was snitched by other Cypriots the first time, and the second time he was snitched by Turkish Cypriots. And I'm here talking to you, trying to see if there's a solution somewhere. And I'm not saying that I love you guys, but I'm not saying that I hate you guys.
How's that gone from Makarios to love to hate? I'm confused.
So I can say that it was your granddad.
It started from the haters.
Concept, a little bit abstract there.
No, it started from they hate us. We don't hate you. what they hate. They don't. The
Who
people
said
that say that they
who
hate.
said you
no one
hate?
said. Yeah, no one said you hate. But you said that you hate Turkey. That's what you said,
I
Nick.
don't. I don't hate Turkey.
You
I
just
don't
said
hate
it.
anybody.
Yeah.
I love everybody.
I
You
think
said
you're
it was
back in track
outdated. You said it
anyway,
was
but
outdated. You said it was outdated. To be fair to him.
Yeah, I said it was, and he agreed. He said that
exactly.
we don't. You
I
said we
agree.
don't hate Turkish Cypriots, we hate Turkey, and I said that's an outdated ideology,
I
and you
didn't
agreed.
listen. I didn't say about
Not
me.
you
I didn't say about
personally,
all of
but
us.
not you
Yeah,
personally.
I said that the people that there are a lot of people that suffered. Let's be honest here, okay? They don't hate the Turkish Cypriots because a lot of them had Turkish Cypriot neighbors that every weekend they were doing subla together. As you
Nick,
guys were
speaking
saying.
of neighbours, are you in Australia?
No, I'm not. I'm
Why
in
have you got an
Cyprus.
Australian? Why have you got an Australian accent?
Listen, some people say I've got an Australian accent. Some people say I've got a British accent. It depends.
You ain't got no
I've
British
got a variable. I've got a variable accent.
Can
I
I
think your
just
accent is you're born in England, but then you grew up in Cyprus. That's what
You
it
grew up
sounds like.
watching
Yeah,
Neighbours
yeah.
and
Well,
Home and Away.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
Can I
I've
just
heard it.
jump in a second, guys? We really
You
need
should
a
hear
couple.
me. You should hear me speaking with an Indian.
We need a couple
Fucking hell.
more Greek Cypriots up.
I'll drop. Don't worry.
You can as you can see, it's a safe space. No one's getting attacked. We're debating. Look, I've gone against Turkish Cypriots when it's warranted. It's a fair panel. Come up. There's loads of you in the comments. Please, come on. Let's
I
balance
need
this
to
out
come back. I need to come back.
and let's keep it going. Andy, come up.
Listen, I need to come back to the.
Go on, Nick.
I need to come back to the funding of the leaders of TRNC.
You need to tell me how much
Now,
you're getting 2 grams for these days, mate.
As Caucasian said, TRNC was declared, okay? And it's a de facto country. Now, if the European Union were to fund the TRNC leaders, the government, it means that they are also funding the army, which that army, at a majority, comes from Turkey. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think there's any problem with that. I think you find that there's a massive Turkish army contingent in Germany right now, protecting you as we speak. So I wouldn't worry about funding the Turkish army. I think you're going to be reliant on them yourselves very soon.
Part of Cyprus, a part of Cyprus that Turkey invaded. Are they going to come and fund that same army that invaded Cyprus?
Two spots for the Greeks. Any Greeks? 2 spots for you lot. Sorry, go on, Andy. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
I understand what you're saying, Nick. Can I just say something? I know we want to move forward.
The next Greek Cypriot to come up, send me your bank details. I'm going to transfer you £20. Had their request.
Fucking £20.
Give me 1 second. Let me just
PayPal.
Let me drop out and I'll come back in then.
No.
You need to stay there.
That is a proper Cypriot right there.
You're royalty now, Nick. You're royalty. But listen, I want to say something that's upset me. Okay, there's this perceived grey area between Turkish and Turkish Cypriot right now, or Greek and Greek Cypriot. But let me just, for me there isn't. But let me just, I just want to say something. Yeah, but
you want to explain that?
In the last 6 months, there's 2 things that have upset me as a Cypriot, as a Turkish Cypriot. One, it's been the military and strategic deal that the ROC has done with Israel. Again, not consulting the other people of the island. And 2, a little bit off topic, it's not political. Having seen the videos and the song from Antigone today, I'm disappointed that there wasn't some sort of reference to Turkish Cypriots on the island. I think someone who grew up in London, who grew up in the UK, should have created something, should have created a nod or some sort of olive branch to Turkish Cypriots. And there isn't anything in there that nods towards the Turkish Cypriots. And that broke my heart.
Why?
Because it did.
Why?
Because he expected more.
I expected that olive branch. I really
but why?
But what gave you that? What gave
Do you
you
know
that
what it is, Escape?
to expect it?
Yeah, do you know what it is, Escape?
I didn't expect it. I would have liked to see it.
Bro,
Okay, then word it that way then, because you're
It's
wrong.
not the
Because
guy that
if you was
upset you.
expecting, bro, you'd be bloody.
Exactly.
Your head would be full of grey hairs. If you was
Oh, it is.
expecting,
It is. I promise you that, Alex.
Because we never got our kids to compete on the world stage. We got blocked with a flag. We got blocked with this. We got blocked with what you said earlier. And I explained why. I explained to you why, because of the 1983 thing and why they won't do it. So don't expect anything, bro. It's not going to happen.
It's not the guy that's upset you, bro. It's your expectations of him. Yeah. So I don't know why you have expectations from the other side. You should expect nothing, because that's what we've been given the past 52 fucking years. Yeah. So I don't know why in your mind you was expecting anything. Yani 52 sene mücadele ettik and we come to this stage. What the fuck are you waiting for? Yani
But he's saying it from an insanlık perspective.
Yani insanlık bunlardan beklemeyeceksiniz. Kusura bakma, I'm sorry.
I would have loved to see. You see, for me, if the Greek Cypriots were smart and they played their hand right, they could offer a little gesture.
Can I push back on Kanabi for 2 seconds? Yeah, Kanabi said we're waiting for a bit of humanity. Yeah, if there was such thing as humanity from the other side, we wouldn't be 52 years in fucking limbo. This isn't a moral issue. This isn't a humanitarian issue. Right? This is a strictly monetary financial issue, Arctic. Maybe in the beginning it may have started like that, but Arctic, any time I hear about this, every time these conversations happen, right, it's usually centered about money. And if that's how you're going into the conversation, take that money, right, and you know what you can do with it. Because this isn't a money issue for us, right?
What surprises me though, Shane, is that the Greek Cypriot side has never tried to pull on the heartstrings. They've never tried to win the hearts of the Turkish Cypriots.
Why are you waiting for that, though? That annoys me.
No. It's not about me. It's never about me. When I talk on these lives, I plant seeds in people's minds. Those seeds might be Turkish and it might be Greek. I'm just making a statement. I'm surprised that the Greek Cypriot side, who want to control the whole island, who want to be the de facto leaders, who want to be the Turkish Cypriots' big brother or big papa.
I know,
I'm surprised they haven't tried to win the hearts of Turkish
Cypriots. Let him finish, because I want to come back. Let him finish, please. I want to come back, bro.
I'm surprised that they haven't tried to win the hearts of Turkish Cypriots, and they could have done that with little gestures like making it official for Turkish Cypriots to play in the ROC football team, or even things like this young girls Eurovision Song Contest song. And have a nod to the Turkish Cypriots.
Escape. You know what it sounds like? You're one of them geezers that you still speak to your exes and that.
We went over this though. I went over this with you. Like I explained to you why they won't. That's the problem.
Alex, I know why they won't. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Do you know what it is?
I'm presenting an argument, and I'm hoping that the 70 people in the.
I'll tell you what. Shaheen, 1 second. Let's hear from Andy. Let Andy rebuttal as a Greek Cypriot to those claims.
Greek Cypriot, Turkish Cypriot. I'm having a conversation with that guy. Yeah, let me fucking come back at least.
I know, but he's saying all of that.
Yeah, but he's been up here for 2 fucking seconds.
Bro,
I've 5 minutes.
Cypriot should have the right to rebuttal that, though, bro. Because it sounds like he's playing the
Go on, Shaheen, you first.
So boring, bro. Go on, Andy. Go on, mate. I'll put my hand up, from now, My hand is up.
No, but bro, you're misunderstanding.
No, this is boring as fuck, man. Go on, Andy.
Bro, you're Turkish Cypriot, he's Turkish Cypriot.
Bro, it doesn't matter. I'm in the middle of the fucking conversation with the guy that didn't
say what he was going to say, man. Let Shaheen say
it doesn't matter, bro. I fucking lost my train of thought. Go on, Andy.
Well, look, I hear what you're saying, Escape, but we've got to remember something here. The Turkish Cypriots, they declared their independence. You've got to recognise that and really respect that as well. Because I hear what you're saying, the ROC could do a bit more to want to give an olive branch and all that, but the Turkish Cypriot leadership didn't want to recognise the ROC. They don't recognise the constitution that you are quoting all the time. You don't recognise it.
It's not the one that was co-founded, Andy. That's why we don't recognise it.
It still is the same constitution.
No, it's not. It's not. When you offer us our political equality,
if it wasn't the same constitution, Turkey wouldn't be able to legally act as a guarantor.
So that again, the car's driving past.
If it wasn't the same constitution, Turkey would never have been able to act as a legal guarantor, as we put it.
Bro, if it was the
they
same
unrecognised
constitution, Andy, there wouldn't be a 52-year ceasefire.
Well, that's because negotiations haven't worked.
Oh, come on, Andy, bro. Don't be a child.
No, I'm not being a child. This is part of the parcel why when we come to Eurovision contests, we keep saying we want to have involvement on that representation, that recognition of that, which is lovely. But at the same time, the TC leadership doesn't recognise that constitution. They don't recognise it at all.
Because it's, like I said,
it's a bit oxymoron to keep saying our rights are this and that when you don't recognise it. You formally declared unrecognition.
Why is it that they don't recognise it? Don't be ignorant. Go. Do a little thought experiment.
But you're not. Listen, what I'm saying, Shahin. Yeah, I understand why they don't recognise it. They don't recognise it. I understand, but you've got to comprehend though. If at the same time we're going to keep saying the ROC doesn't represent us on the international stage, you have formally unrecognised it.
Do you know what it is?
That's the risks of being a de facto state. That is
but you got Turkish Cypriots living on your side, Andy. You got Turkish Cypriots living in the ROC.
I'm not talking so much the people, but the leadership did unrecognise it. So you can't, expect them to say, "Oh, now we've got to present this and present that."
Andy, if you can put our language on your fag packets, why can't you put it in the Eurovision?
Listen, what do we hear from a lot of Turkish Cypriots? That flag doesn't represent me. That constitution doesn't represent me. So why are we playing victim to not being represented?
Because you got Turkish Cypriots living in the ROC that aren't represented.
What? 1,000? Who have we got there? There's no one.
Doesn't matter about the number. What does the number matter?
Listen. The point is, it's obviously become a majority ROC through the force of invasion.
Listen, I'm gonna play devil's advocate as well with Andy.
Here we go. We've got two of them now.
Now hold on. So because look, I'm being fair here. I'm listening to all this. No, big libby. I'm being fair.
No, go on. No, I'm being
why doesn't the TRNC recognise a Greek Cypriot and give them a TRNC citizenship? Why is that illegal? Why is that stopped? Exactly. It's the same argument, bro. You want to be this. You want. It's all demanding. Their hands are tied, but then the TRNC's hands are tied by giving someone like Mario or Andy a Kimlik or a passport because it will cause other problems. So come on, man, be open-minded.
So do you think?
No,
hold on,
we're not saying anything about that.
Now it's my turn. Now we've got three devil's advocates. Yeah.
No.
If the ROC was to recognise the TRNC, if that was to happen, do you think that then they would give them a Kimlik?
Bro, look, I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of what. I just used that as an example.
Yeah, but there's no point. That's a cheap cop-out.
It's not, because I can give you loads of reasons.
To me, and I'm or whoever, to the panel, and we're supposed to answer.
What do you want me to go and ask me again?
I'm saying to you, if the ROC recognised the TRNC, do you then not think that they would hand out Kimliks to GCs wanting to come and live in the north?
No, I don't think they would.
But these guys, I'm putting my hand up. How can they recognise the TRNC when the TRNC is registered as a de facto state by Demirtas? He was warned by Turkey not to do it. All of those things that
we're going into the off topic.
Hold on a minute. Everything that Escape was saying, I believe in, and it's true. And I think as an olive branch, it should happen based on humanitarian or being a fellow Cypriot. Yes, I get that side of it, and I understand that, and I want what he wants. I'm speaking from a legal perspective.
Okay, from that.
The day that Demirtas made the TRNC a de facto state, we lost that right to ask that. That's the point.
Well, I don't think so. Okay, then if that's the case, then what are you doing these lives every single night then?
No, he's saying legally.
Legally.
Legally, we have a right in the ROC, right? Legally, we should have.
No, you're missing my point. You can't go and do something that's going to affect wanting what you want from the ROC. If Demirtas didn't form the TRNC a de facto state, we'd have more of a better argument to counter and say, yeah, we should be in the Eurovision, we should be in this, we should be in that. But at the moment, you're asking the ROC.
I'm not asking anything. That was Escape's point.
Okay, Escape
just saying Escape. That's what I was talking to.
They should do this, they should do that, but they can't. But they should. I agree with Escape.
Let me come in then. Let me clarify a point, right? Let me give an analogy. We always blame the British, don't we? The British and the Americans, and they're these big puppet masters, and they mastermind everything. And then we hear about the CIA funding coups in faraway lands.
Kissinger,
Okay,
bilmem ne.
but so let me ask you a question. If you were really a very, very smart Greek Cypriot administration, and you had this breakaway state who have proved, the people on that side have proved time and time again.
I know where you're going with this.
They voted with their feet. They have indicated that they want to join you. They want to be part of the ROC. Time and time again, you would play on their heartstrings. You would offer them so many incentives that they would turn around to the TRNC and say, guys, I'm not interested in what you have to offer anymore. I want to go in and join up with the ROC. This is what shocks me and surprises me. I wonder if I wonder if the ROC is in on it too. I wonder if they also do not want
a BBF. The ROC's acknowledged that a one-state solution is off the table. They know it's not realistic. They've changed tack.
So offer these Turkish Cypriots an incentive that they can't turn down. Give them an incentive. Give them social housing. Give them something. Give them participation. Give them acknowledgement. And they will come. They will flood.
Escape.
You're jumping one step ahead. That will come if we can agree the basis of a BVF.
I have to say goodnight. I have to say goodnight, but because my phone battery is dying. So
Who's that, Nick?
It was a pleasure talking to all of you.
Make sure you, Nicky, make sure you come back there. Make sure you come back.
Nick, before you go, how much is 2 grams these days?
What do you mean 2 grams?
0.5.
I did.
we can't hear you, Nick. You've gone off. We can't hear you, mate. Come back
swear
on.
this geezer was snorting on the live.
Nick's chatting to his dealer. His dealer's on the phone.
Yeah, he's just had a call for 3 grams. Anyway, go on, carry on. Sorry, Shane, carry on.
I forgot now. What did you say in Escape?
Wait, I want to ask Escape a question.
Wait, bro, let me wait. I'm gonna wait another fucking 5 minutes. Hold up. What was you saying, Escape?
Basically, I'm playing devil's advocate. Okay, this isn't my view, but I'm saying to you, I'm shocked and surprised that an all-seeing, all-knowing.
Wait, are you actually shocked and surprised, or are you playing a part of something?
I'm playing a part. Okay,
guys, I've got to close in 5 minutes. Just letting you lot know, 5 minutes.
Okay, I am shocked that the ROC hasn't offered incentives and pulled on the heartstrings of the Turkish Cypriots.
I'm Escape. You're gonna fucking say the same thing again. I told you.
That's what Shahin's saying. He's asking
I'm
a question.
asking him, but then I was gonna respond to what he's saying, but he doesn't actually believe that bollocks. He's just playing an act. He's fucking playing a role right now, and I'm not gonna respond to that.
I'm gonna get the fucking violin out.
Can I ask my question now? Can I ask him my question now?
Go on, bro.
Escape. Legally speaking,
hold on,
every single.
I'm getting the violin out, bro. Wait.
Go on. Fiddler on the roof, yeah? I was going to say, Escape, if every single Turkish Cypriot woke up tomorrow and went and got their Kimlik for the ROC, and the whole of northern Cyprus was left unpopulated apart from the Turkish army, how would it change anything 1 inch, considering the fact that they're already in a state of being an illegal state? How's it going to change anything?
Well, that state would disappear.
No, it wouldn't, because they're already illegal.
I'm not saying that.
They'll just carry on being illegal.
Well, look, if there's no one,
it would just be more illegal.
If there's no one living there or paying their taxes and operating in it, then it's going to fold eventually.
No, it won't, because Turkey will pay for everything.
That's right.
They pay for everything anyway.
Exactly. So it ain't going to fold then, is it?
But that's not what the Turkish Cypriots who live on the island want. The Turkish Cypriots who live on the island want a future. I'll give you an example.
To you, I'm playing the devil to your devil's advocate.
I know. So
let me give you imagine.
Escape. Janum, they've voted with their feet, as you put it.
They have.
They've voted in Erhuman, who is a solutionist. So what we need to do is just trust the process. They've said they're going to kickstart from Crans Montana. Me personally, I take a lot of positives from Crans Montana because I was surprised in how much they resolved things by a certain percentage. Yes, things might need to go back and look into again because time has changed. Things have been developed on maybe the land thing they'll have to renegotiate. Fine. And the second part that I'm happy with is Turkey didn't take part in any of those from 2012 up to 2017, and I'm hoping that is still the case. I think we're jumping the gun here because the ROC acknowledges that it's going to be a BBF. El Humam wants a BBF. We just need to work out the little nitty gritty of how the BBF is going to function because they haven't released anything on that, and I think we'll be fine. Because all the things you're complaining about, I also upsets me. I want to see Turkish Cypriots compete. I think it'd be a lovely gesture that they included a Turkish Cypriot in the Eurovision. All of this stuff would be amazing, brother. It would shock me. I would be over the moon. But I don't expect it, like Shaheen says. I don't get my hopes up, and I don't take it personal because I understand the status quo and I understand the way the island was divisioned, and I know it's a tit for tat, and they won't do it because of the current status quo. But stay positive, bro, because we've got the right guy in charge. Hopefully this time round we'll get it right. That's all I got to say.
When you can be Winston Churchill, don't be Neville Chamberlain, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a great way to end it, Shaheen. That's on that bombshell, like you say.
And I understand that. Winston Churchill was the only one that saw through Adolf Hitler, and Chamberlain was deluded. I get you, bro. I'm with you.
Alex, on Shaheen's bombshell, I think we've got to close it now.
Who's doing the after party?
Can I just say one thing before you shut, Sof? Can I just say one thing before you shut?
Go on.
If we don't try, Shaheen, the only people that suffer are our Turkish Cypriots, brothers and sisters and kids in the northern part of the island. It's easy for us in the UK, speaking in our houses in the UK with our mortgages and living in Britain.
Alex, are you gonna run the after party or am I?
I really don't mind, brother. It makes no difference to me. For me,
no, Alex is on form, man. Let Alex do it.
But for me, it's about those people, Bear, the little kids, Bear. I want them to get something out of it.
I'm gonna respond to this on the next thing.
Run the after party, Alex. I want to say something.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Sof.
Thank you, everyone.
Sof, thanks for a great live, bro. I loved it.
No worries. See you again.
Thank you.
Hadi good night.
Sof, man. It was a good one, man. Big up Sof.
İyi akşamlar. Galenita.
Shaheen, come over to me. Come over to my live.
Follow Alex and Shaheen. I don't know whoever's doing the live. All right, guys. See you later.
Buenas noches, señoras.
Sof, I'll call you tomorrow.
Nah, mate.
All right, mate.